Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. And of course, we're everywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes. Larson, we haven't left the top 150 in quite a while. I'm very happy about that. Usually we hover around the 80s or 90s or so, depending on the day, the time of the week, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So with you guys out there hitting that download and subscribe button, look, even if you watch us on YouTube, it helps a huge deal if you take literally a minute, find us on iTunes, hit the download, hit the subscribe button, whatever it is over there, and then leave us like a rating, a ranking, a review, whatever. That helps us out. It's just basically my ego.
Yeah, you're obsessed with our iTunes rankings.
Well, here's the thing. Our audio numbers keep on going up and up and up and up. So the more exposure we are in that top 150, you know, the fact that people can see us there.
Yeah, no, I understand why.
Helps us out. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has out there. Everybody out there who's watching the show on YouTube and you don't even listen to the podcast on your phone, and yet you've still hit that subscribe button or the download button.
Yeah, thank you.
Extra special thanks to you guys. And
Yes.
of course, an extra special thanks to our patrons out there at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We've got 30 some odd people watching right now, 36 people watching right now. This is the live stream that they're watching of the show as it happens live. So like before the show, they're able to interact with us. During the show, sometimes I'll pull them up, and then after the show, the bonus episode, we'll talk back and forth with them.
Correct.
And of course, you guys at the $5 level, getting that bonus episode every single week. And the $1, it's like once a month. And we got also other great rewards out there. $50, you get like a t-shirt, some madness. And of course, every week here on the Tuesday show, I like to send a shout out to all those people on Patreon. So I'm going to do that right now. And then we'll talk about some Raw.
Yeah, let's do that.
Talk about some Goldberg. I love this name. Billy Dirk Coley.
It's a good name.
Pledged this week. Mitchell Ward, Jeremy Barber, Devin Skaggs, Nathaniel M. Kraft, Zach Kuchartz, Samuel Reed, Michael Carr, Chris Scowler, Matthew Duggan, Robert Sarafaslanian. Oh, I think I've named this guy before, I think.
Yeah.
Sarafaslanian. Aaron Kavanaugh, Michael Vike. For a second, I thought it was Mike Vick. I was like, oh, man. Matthew Beeler, Raymond Brown, Matthew Barisic, Joshua M. Martinez, Leandro Vereda, Matt Yerrigan, Quentin Carnduff, Danny Swinton, Andrew Lemon, William Badger, Zach Angus. I like that name, Zach Angus.
That's a good name.
Troy Bressy, Coyne Hutchinson, Cody Rowland. Ooh, he's getting a t-shirt. Big money. Ben Wagstaff, Spencer Moore, Dan Olding, John Grogan, Bernice Stockwell, Sean Hulver, Kenny, Craig Stevenson, and Rory Priest. Just past midnight last night, put in some money to Patreon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to everybody. I hope the people don't tune out when I start reading those names off.
I know.
It's so awkward. I butchered the crap out of those names, and I apologize. But you know what? They're putting in their hard-earned money, and we really appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
So I don't give a damn. They deserve their shout-outs. That's what they're going to get. Yeah. And
Should
of
we
course,
talk about Raw?
Although I did forget to mention we're on Podbean, Stitcher, Google, anywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah, and
That's
all
where
those
we are.
places.
All those places, yeah.
Should we start at the beginning or start at the end?
Oh, you want to talk about Goldberg?
Yeah, we can talk
Let's
about
talk
Goldberg.
Let's talk about Goldberg. All right. Goldberg happened. So earlier in the show, obviously the entire show, they were hyping Goldberg leading up to Raw. They've been hyping Goldberg. They got to get them ratings. So Goldberg is big money. And boy, oh boy, I believe he delivered last night.
He did.
His promo was stellar. This was, you said on the Machinima Recap
The
show.
best of his career.
Literally. And I mean, basically we say that because Goldberg was never known as a stick guy, you know?
No, he was actually, I mean, honestly, he wasn't known to be good at many of the things that make up a good pro wrestler.
Yeah.
He had intensity, and he was charismatic in the ring.
Yeah. He's a charismatic dude no matter what. It's just funny because you don't realize it because he's masked by all those cartoony big expressions he uses, and now he didn't really talk that much. But once you actually, like, I listened to him on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast. He had like a 3-parter, a 4-parter, 2-parter, something like that. And Goldberg it seems like a really cool guy. Like, I've heard plenty of stories about how he was kind of some people he was kind of a dick. Like, he came off that way. I wonder sometimes if that's because there was the perception that he was a guy who saw it simply as a business, who didn't have, and that's one thing that I think Meltzer said in one of his Twitter QAs from Wrestling Observer, said that he was seen by Vince as a guy who was purely business. And so Vince couldn't use the leverage of, oh, well, this is your passion.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lowball you.
Yeah.
No, Goldberg knew his value.
Yeah.
And understood that. That's what led to the parting of the ways 13 years ago. Anyways, the money's good now. Goldberg seems to have a bit more sentimentality on his side because he's got a kid who's like 10 or whatever he is now, and he's never seen Goldberg wrestle before, and of course his wife, who were both in attendance last night.
And the reaction he got last night.
Oh, it was great.
You could tell it made him emotional.
Oh yeah, he came out. He was misty-eyed.
Yeah.
Did you see that they went a little bit extra? Number one, they had I love how they did this. Everything they did last night was perfect with Goldberg. He came out. He did his typical Goldberg entrance. So you start backstage. He comes out, and I love that he was coming through. All sorts of a bunch of the faces were all just sort of sitting there. And how geeked out do you think a lot of those younger guys were, like Cass and Xavier Woods and those younger guys? To be sitting there lining the halls during a Goldberg entrance and cheering him on, essentially.
I know. Did you see Sami Zayn?
Oh, I did.
He was sitting against the wall. He kind of did this. It was great.
That's fantastic. Because you know those guys like him, they were probably so anti-Goldberg. You know what I mean? Because Goldberg was a guy. I think in our group, only Big Jim was the only guy who really loved Goldberg. You know. But it was fun to see him back. I mean, he still looks amazing. You know, we've seen him from time to time through the years, but he still looks amazing. And yeah, he came down to a massive pop, a really hype crowd, all chanting Goldberg, and he delivered. He didn't stumble once. He worked the camera perfectly. He worked the crowd perfectly. When he paused, there wasn't a what to be heard. Nope. He had that crowd in the palm of his hands. It was really great.
Yeah, it was really good. And, of course, he came out to respond to the challenge that Paul Heyman laid out last week.
Right.
And, you know, in typical wrestling promo fashion, he started out by making it seem like that he was going to turn down the challenge.
Yeah.
Only to say, no, Lesnar, you're next.
Yeah, he says, not only are you next,
but perhaps more importantly, you're last.
Now, do you believe that to be the case?
Right now, yes.
I'm going to say right now, no.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if we would have the details of his contract, if that could have leaked somehow. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Here's the thing. Let's just get to the bottom line. He ain't going to beat Lesnar. That's not going to happen.
Well, I think there's two scenarios. I mentioned this on the Machinima show.
Okay.
One, they wrestle 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Both guys bust their asses, put on the best match they can. Mm-hmm. Goldberg comes up short, loses.
Okay.
Probably what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Second scenario that I think could happen is they bust their asses, they put on the best match they can. Mm-hmm. Shane interferes on Goldberg's behalf, costs Lesnar the match, setting up Shane, Lesnar down the line at WrestleMania, I guess. Or Shane will pick some wrestler to have his proxy, and that wrestler versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. Those are the two most plausible scenarios that I anticipate. I think the first one is the most likely to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if they involve Shane somehow in that match to further the feud between Lesnar and and Shane if that's the plan
If
for
they
WrestleMania.
hadn't made such a big deal about, I would say the second scenario would, number one, I think that second scenario is likely. I think it's so much more less likely because Lesnar already has one loss against Goldberg. I think that's sort of the tipping thing, is that it's not necessarily that Lesnar would take a loss. It'd be that he'd have 2 losses against Goldberg that he then couldn't make up. I think that it wouldn't surprise me at all if this was a 2 or 3 match contract based on perhaps the contingency that everybody wants to proceed. It wouldn't surprise me if Goldberg had the option. I mean, he can always have the option, because if he does really well and he really enjoys it, WWE might say, come back for Mania. I think that's probably going to be the path they proceed on. But I would think that, so you say right now it's 1. I would say right now 1, maybe contractually.
Yeah.
But right now, after that response he got last night,
Yeah, he might want to do
think
another.
right now it's probably going to be at least 2. And I think if he's going to lose against Lesnar, that's going to be an even bigger impetus, because he's going to be able to tell his kid, or he's going to be able to show his kid, okay, I might have lost one, but you get to see me with my hand raised as well, which I think is probably important to him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think,
And especially if that win comes at WrestleMania, I'm sure that'd be huge for himself.
massive.
Yeah.
But
who, I mean,
well, that's the question.
that's the question, because we all assume that it's going to be
Rusev.
Triple H and Rollins.
Rusev. Why wouldn't it be Rusev?
That'd be good.
That makes so much fucking sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, just being in a program with Goldberg does wonders for Rusev.
Huge for Rusev.
Yep.
He takes a good loss
Yeah.
on the grandest stage of them all. Goldberg gets to raise his hand. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, that'd be a good match.
So there's your answer. Just let us book this shit and we're all good. But then we couldn't criticize it. Then we can't sit here and make, millions of YouTube dollars that we're making right now.
Well, wait.
We're talking about pro wrestling. What did somebody say in our comments on YouTube on the page on the last episode of Paige's Dirt Sheet? It was somebody said, I don't know, I just caught it real quick, because somebody said they say they're tired of talking about Paige news. Says 2 guys who talk about pro wrestling so much in their real lives that they had to bring it to the internet. Oh, very clever.
Well,
you.
there's
Very clever.
There's
you.
more Page news to talk about later this week
Man,
too.
I know. Are we going to talk about that on the Dirt Sheet again? Do we? I think we kind of have to.
We do.
Oh my god. What do you think Alberto Del Rio is thinking? We'll ask that. Paige. Oh my god, what a nightmare. Okay. So yeah, let's get back to Goldberg. I think we've sort of played out these scenarios that we would prefer to see, or that we think might happen. I think your Shane one actually gives everybody, if it wasn't for that WrestleMania loss, that would be the perfect scenario, because then the record would be tied up. There'd be sort of no backstory besides maybe, they can conjure one up. But if it wasn't for that Goldberg loss, because going 0-2 to anybody is a massive problem for them.
Yeah.
And so there's no way, I don't believe that Goldberg is going to win this, although the Shane machinations thing would be the easiest one. But I think just the fact that at Survivor Series, Shane's going to be there is enough for them to do something to lead to Mania, which seems to be the case. But having Shane help out with the Goldberg thing, that would have been totally a doable situation had Lesnar not already taken that loss. But I honestly think, given that crowd reaction last night, and at the end Goldberg got to hoist his kid up on his shoulders, doing that.
Oh, I mean, like when the rumors first started coming out that he was going to have the match with Lesnar at Survivor Series, I thought, okay, sure, 2 matches.
Yeah.
Survivor Series, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He'll it could be 1 match, Hall of Fame induction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or it could be 2 matches and then Hall of Fame induction next year.
When did Sting get inducted? The year after his 2K17?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the year after he had his WrestleMania match.
I could say, where is Mania this year? It's in
Orlando. They haven't announced for next year.
Where's Goldberg from? Does that matter with him?
Everybody's
from Florida, though. All the wrestling people have lived in Florida at one point.
I think he used to live in the Atlanta area, I believe. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah, everybody that lived in Florida or Atlanta that was in WCW. It doesn't really matter. I mean, that Goldberg transcends hometown guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Goldberg this year for the Hall of Fame. No reason against that. And he has his Hall of Fame. Was the Sting match at Mania? Was that the same? That was the same year as Hall of Fame.
No.
No.
No. The
His Hall
Sting
of
match
Fame-
WrestleMania was when we went to. And then this last year, he got inducted into the Hall
Oh,
of
that's
Fame.
right, because there was all the speculation whether or not he was going to retire or not. Okay, well, that makes sense, though. Boy, I don't know. I do think that Mania sounds so perfect for
Oh,
Goldberg.
yeah.
Mania
Yeah.
against Rusev. Are you kidding me? Because that. Talk about a consolation prize for not keeping that U.S. title for now. Is you get Goldberg next.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
Yeah,
I'd
it would
love
be.
that. Oh, goodness gracious. So, any more thoughts on Goldberg before we move on?
No, I'm interested to see
What's your we
where
have
they
a,
take the storyline.
we have a bunch of good questions
Yes.
Regarding Goldberg later on, and
Yes.
we'll talk about more Goldberg then
Yeah.
because we'll give our thoughts on. I mean, we already said who we think is going to win, but are we hyped about it? We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's move on with the rest of the show, though. The show actually opened up. Raw opened up with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho coming out to do a promo. Jericho, week by week, is so over. He put the referee from last week's main event on the list.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. I love it. This is the first week that they are starting to tease.
Seriously. In previous weeks, they have teased a little bit
Mm-hmm.
with Jericho saying that he wouldn't mind having that Universal title.
Jericho did some great work this week. This week especially was a big turning point. So Seth Rollins comes down. And, dude, the Seth Rollins thing, the Seth Rollins is a face
It's
thing.
not working right now.
If it wasn't for the fact that he's Seth Rollins, people would be booing the shit out of him the same way they booed Roman Reigns. And I guarantee you, dude, whoever was writing those wannabe clever quips of Roman Reigns's when people were bitching about him, whether it was Vince or Vince's right-hand man or whoever was writing that stuff, came up with Sparkle Crotch. Because that is not funny. It's so just stupid. It's so like beneath what they should be doing. And you can tell that Seth isn't selling it.
I know, and they were so intent on trying to get that
Trying
trending.
to make that a thing. It's like from Mean Girls. Don't make that a thing. You can't make that. Stop trying to make that a thing.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
I know.
I can't stand it. Like, I don't know. It's just really annoying. But, he comes out, he does his babyface thing. Here's the problem with all this, though, is that because then that led directly to a Jericho Rollins match. Rollins basically challenged Chris Jericho's manhood.
Yeah.
And Jericho said, I could beat you anytime, anywhere, one-on-one.
Said last time I didn't was because bad refereeing.
Exactly.
You mentioned that.
And so he put the referee on the list. And then Jericho wants to take on Rollins one-on-one. So they have that set up for next or for right after that. And he tells Kevin Owens, how did that play out? Did he tell Owens he needed to go?
I believe Rollins, I think he said something about needing your best friend or... Oh, no,
Yeah.
he was talking about how 2 weeks in a row Jericho had taken pedigrees while Owens didn't do anything.
Right. And so Jericho's like, Owens, you need to go. And Owens says, no, I'm going to be right here. And that's when things took a really, really cool turn on Jericho's part. And this is the gift of Jericho, people, is that this guy knows how to transition from a comedy act seamlessly into keeping it real.
And it's not abrupt. It's all motivated.
It's not
correctly.
abrupt. It's motivated, and it's perfect. And he leveled with him. And he said, look, I get it. You're the champion. And all jokes aside, I've been world champion 6 times.
He mentioned last night beating The Rock and Stone Cold in
on
the same night.
And by the way, every time he mentions anything, the people pop for him.
Yep.
Which we'll talk about in a bit, which is their Jericho problem. And so he says, I need to do this on my own. And almost insinuating, I know you're screwing this up I know you're intentionally doing this stuff to keep me out of
The title picture.
The title picture.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. And it's so unsaid, which is the brilliance of it. And I guarantee this is Jericho. I guarantee, because the same guy who wrote Sparkle Crotch isn't writing for Jericho.
Yeah.
That much is I'm definitely sure about that. And I
Yeah.
know Jericho's probably doing, look, I know how to do this. I'm Chris freaking Jericho.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
He says, go to the back. I'm going to do this on my own. I understand what you're doing. It doesn't mean we're not best friends because we are best friends. But I know what it's like to be champion, and I know what you're doing. And the subtext is you're holding on to that belt for dear life.
Yeah.
And you don't want me You don't want me to be any part of it.
Yeah.
Owens understands, gives him a big hug, says,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here in spirit. So he takes off. Jericho and Rollins has a match. Now, here's the problem with this, is that anybody who gets into the ring with Jericho is going to be out-cheered by the crowd.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
There were multiple Y2J chants last night.
yes. Yeah. And nobody's booing Rollins yet because Nobody wants to boo Seth Rollins. I'm never going to boo Seth Rollins because he's an amazing athlete. He's great on the mic when he's motivated and when he has maybe somebody good writing for him. But that's the problem, is that Jericho now is at that place where he's supposed to be a heel, but he's so goddamn entertaining that everybody's going to cheer for him. And he's Jericho.
I know.
Everybody's so happy to have just a truly motivated, into it Jericho.
Yeah.
And he's great. So anyways, they have a match. And once again, Kevin Owens comes out and interferes.
Yeah, there's a spot where Jericho has Rollins in the walls of Jericho, and Owens is pulling the bottom rope away from Rollins so he can't grab onto it and break the hold.
Yeah.
Now, the ref sees it, makes Owens let go of the rope. Rollins gets to the rope. Mm-hmm. And at that point, Jericho realizes that Owens is out there.
Yeah.
And that leads to Jericho losing the match. He eats a pedigree, loses the match.
Yeah.
So later on the show, Jericho was walking through the hallways in the arena, comes across Owens and confronts him about it.
Yeah.
It's like the most intense Jericho we've seen since they've started this whole we're best friend angle.
Right.
And they start going at it, not physically, but verbally. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, I got a cough.
It's going up everywhere. Oh, God.
Excuse me. And then Jericho almost calls Owens
stupid. Yeah.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah, and Owens calls him out on it. He said, what are you going to call me? Were you going to call me stupid idiot? And then eventually Stephanie McMahon comes in. She breaks him up and says, what are you guys doing? You guys need to be on the same page.
Yeah, so she says, we have Survivor Series coming up. SmackDown's challenged us to these matches. I need my two smartest, I believe she said, superstars to get it together and get on the same page.
Yeah.
So they kind of made up a little bit. But Jericho had that look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
And he said on, I can't remember where, that this was just kind of the beginning of their storyline.
It was on his podcast, I think.
It could be.
Maybe it was an interview. I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, Royal Rumble. These guys.
It's going to be good, man. And Jericho's going to make, and I'm fairly convinced now that it will take an injury to get that Universal title on Jericho. Because I don't think, otherwise I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I just don't. Unless, look, the crowd support may carry it, may carry him to that. That's a possibility.
I would not be surprised that they did a thing where he wanted the pay-per-view the next night on Raw. Owens destroys him.
It'd be great ratings. It'd be huge ratings. It'd be massive ratings.
If you want to set up Owens as a monster heel, have him destroy Jericho.
I love it. I don't see it happening. Because I always... When in doubt, err on the side of them doing the most mundane thing.
No,
and then you get surprised. You get pleasantly surprised.
I know.
I don't see it happening, but I think that Jericho's going to make Owens look like $1 million on this path that they're on.
Yeah.
And I hope, honestly, dude, I hope that it does reestablish Owens as just a dominant, fierce heel, because that's when he's at his best.
Yes. I'm fine with him being an opportunist, Owens that is, but... I don't know. He doesn't fit the role of cowardly heel.
Right, exactly.
Not as well as Rollins. If Rollins fit that role, he played that role really well.
Yeah, yeah.
But
even with that, it got old.
Oh yeah.
Even with that, it got old because it's like you have a guy who is really vicious. He has that curb stomp, and he was bailed out so many times by Kane and J&J.
I know it got old towards the end, but
he
really played. They gave him that role, and he went 100% with it.
Right.
So,
let's see here. We do have to mention that great when Jericho mentioned that he had, I have goat on my butt, and then it cuts to a shot, a close up of his butt. Oh, it was great,
and the crowd laughed.
His dad butt. Oh, that was fantastic. That was so great. Lita interviewed Charlotte, and then later on Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Confirmed by Mick Foley
on Facebook.
Oh, by the way, also later on in the show, Mick Foley said. That next week's match, next week's main event for the go home is going to be a triple threat again
between Rollins, Owens, and Jericho.
Right, exactly.
There's a question about this later in our question segment, but let's just touch on it briefly right now. What are the odds that Jericho can pick up a win in that match?
Well, there's nothing at stake, so I'd say pretty good. I would say
Agreed.
you want to further that feud.
Yeah.
Then he picks up that win and legitimizes his claim to be in the picture, even though his best friend, he understands, doesn't want him to be there.
All right. We'll go in more detail later because I have an idea. Some ideas.
Okay, good. So I didn't watch the Lita interview with Charlotte. I watched the majority of the Sasha Banks one. And then this is the comment that pops up on YouTube. You guys don't even watch the show. They're talking about it. They don't watch the show. So you tell me, how was this interview?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Did it cover any new ground?
Not really.
Yeah.
it was Charlotte going further, describing why she's the best.
Yeah.
The focus of both interviews was predominantly about the history making they are going to be doing at Hell in a Cell, being the first women to wrestle in a Hell in a Cell match.
And now, as of what, this morning?
Yeah.
Confirmed?
It wasn't confirmed last night, but this morning that they're going to main event the show.
They're going to main event the show. And this isn't that type of thing where they main event in the first match. They're going to main event. They're going to close
they're going
the
to go
show.
on last, which is incredible. It's so awesome.
Does this terrify you, though? Terrifies me.
A little bit.
There was that report that Charlotte told Vince that she wanted to come off the top on a moonsault with a moonsault. That immediately, he needs to shut this down. He needs to
that's
like,
what he said.
Look.
Here's because I brought this up to my wife last night. I told her that because I actually I had a dream about that match.
That's not good.
And someone got hurt.
That's not good.
And I woke up and I was shaken.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
So I brought up that report about Charlotte wanting to do the moonsault off the top, and she said, "You know what? They probably just put that out there to get people excited about the match."
Mm-hmm. Could be. Maybe. Because Meltzer hadn't heard. Somebody asked him about it. I go by what Meltzer says. Yeah, I don't know. I'm terrified for this match. I mean, I really am. I think they're gonna try to burn the house down with this thing, and I think they're gonna do great. I just need them to just stop and understand for a second that they have long careers ahead of them if they don't try to overreach their grasp.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The Sasha Bayley match at TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yeah, first one.
Yeah, what made that match so great?
Sasha jumping over a friggin' ref.
No, that was
that was amazing.
No, it was amazing. But that
story I know.
Exactly, it was the storytelling. That was the only high spot of the entire match. Well, no, there was the Hurricane Rana off the top rope.
They were very.
That match was focused on story.
It was, but they were also very. And this is the good thing. They were very creative in how they told that story. For example, you had Sasha stomping on Bayley's hand, which we all knew was injured.
Yeah.
So they did things that we hadn't seen before. But not because it was such a, oh my God, that was so dangerous. It was, oh my God, that was so clever and that was so creative.
And I think if that's the approach they take in Hell in a Cell, rather than trying to do high spots, telling a really good story, utilizing the cell in ways that enhances that story, then I think the match could be spectacular without having anybody having to go off the top of it or doing any crazy spots.
I agree. I
expect there to be one crazy spot.
I still think blood needs to play into this.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
God, that'd be great. That would be so great. It might piss Vince off, but my God.
Well, if he as
he would never approve blood. He would in a women's match.
I don't know.
He would never approve blood. He one person can do blood, and that's Lesnar, and that's it. But he let them do blood.
I know.
You think he's not gonna let women do blood, man?
I don't know.
That'd be crazy. Anyways,
I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, all of the Hell in the Cell matches, I'm anxious about.
Yeah.
Maybe less so Reigns and Rusev, because I think that's just going to be really physical.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Rollins wants to try to do something insane.
I hope he doesn't.
In the cell.
Don't do it, Rollins. Don't do it, Rollins.
So.
Hey, you know, it's funny, though, because we're as sort of mediocre as Raw has been as of late, we're overlooking the fact that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are going to be a Hell in a Cell. It's going to be a flipping amazing match. It's going to be really
hopefully it's the match that feud needs, because it's been kind of lackluster.
Yeah. In equally thrilling developments, the Golden Truth and Mark Henry took on the Shining Stars and Titus Brand.
Yeah.
Who is sort of seen like he sort of saw a change from corporate brand guy to almost like huckster, like flim flam man. They were trying to pawn some watches off.
The Shining Stars were trying to sell what I believe Michael Cole called fake Rolexes.
Yeah.
But one of them was a calculator watch. And as far as I know, Rolex doesn't make a calculator watch.
As far as you know.
As far as I know.
How learned are you on Rolex's
not
products?
Terribly. I will admit that.
You know what, dude? There are two things in my youth that I really wish I had. One of them, you know what it is, that I never got.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
The Air Jordans.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember one time, so I was a military kid. My dad used to go away on what they call TDY, which is like assignment for a couple months. And he came back from Germany, and he always used to bring us back gifts. I was really, because I told him I want some Jordans. I was really hoping. He never got me Jordans. I love my dad, but I always hold that against him. Hopefully in another 30, 40 years when he finally goes to God, I'm going to remind him on his deathbed. You never got me those Jordans, old man. And then I'll get the pillow and put it
Oh
over.
my goodness.
40 years. That's assuming my dad makes it to 100. I hope he makes it 150. Anyways, and calculator watches. I always loved.
Really?
I always loved the calculator watch.
I
You know
had
why?
one.
Because I was a big mark for Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the closest thing I felt.
Yeah.
Of course, now I just got my wife an Apple Watch for her birthday. And I looked at it, I was like, I have zero use for this. Now, even though I know there's a calculator on it, I have no use for an Apple
None.
Watch. I love Apple gimmicks. I love all their I got an iPad Pro floating around here somewhere. I love it. I love it. So hardcore. An Apple Watch, zero use for.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
I had a calculator watch when I was a kid.
Oh, man, I envy you.
And I had Jordans, too.
I know. You're just a projection of everything. I thought it was everything I didn't want, but it's everything I didn't want. It's everything I don't like. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, because you have that, and I always wanted that.
Yeah.
You're a real person. Let's see here.
Thank you.
So, yeah, the Shining Stars and Titus Brand. Once again, Titus took the loss from the World's Strongest Slam.
Yeah, it's great to have Mark Henry back.
Anytime Mark Henry's anywhere, it's great. You know, Big Show cried when he gave his retirement speech. I learned that while doing research for something.
That speech was fantastic. It's one of my favorite promos ever. It was so good.
Absolutely, yeah. It was amazing. Let's see here. He beat the shit out of John Cena. Oh, one promo turns an entire career around, basically. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. We already talked about that. Sheamus versus Big E. This time the tables were turned. Instead of Cesaro taking the punishment in the ring, it was Sheamus, and Cesaro was on the outskirts, looking dapper in a suit.
Yeah.
And he had his little phone with him. He's on Facebook
Doing
Live,
the
I think.
Facebook Live, streaming.
Yeah.
Not really paying attention to the match.
Sheamus was getting irritated with him.
Yeah, it was kind of, just the flip side of what we saw last week.
Yeah.
They did announce after this match, after Sheamus took the loss.
Hell in a Cell tag match?
Well, that was
For the
already
titles?
confirmed. Next week, in a non-title match, the New Day will be taking
They've been
on
doing that a lot with the tag match.
Sheamus
You
and
notice that?
Cesaro. Yeah, so
Same thing with the club last
I
month.
fully expect Sheamus and Cesaro to get it together enough next week to get the win, only to lose at Hell in a Cell, I would suspect.
We're on demolition record.
It was
watch.
day 420
It was 420
yesterday,
Yeah.
so they only have 50 some more days to go.
All right. Well, at that point, we can actually. It's got to be the club. You think it's a club? Do you think there's any chance Sheamus and Cesaro get these tags?
No,
No,
I don't think
why-
so. Not at Hell in a Cell, no.
Oh no, not a Hell in a Cell.
Because it'll be
You maintain that this is not a long-term thing for them. I still don't get that. I think that as long as they're over, as long as it's working, it's gonna stick. It's gonna stay together.
It's all building up to a blow-off match.
You keep on saying that, but
It
I
is.
don't see where that is. How is
It
that?
could be a year from now, but it's all leading to that.
Well, yeah, everything's leading to a blow-off. If you want to get technical about
What's
it.
the December Raw pay-per-view is Roadblock, I think.
Oh, is it?
And that's December 18th,
I never know what's going on.
I think. Because TLC, I think, is the SmackDown.
Where's our seats for NXT?
They're on the floor.
Nice, good job. You always do good with those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely a ticket guy.
I
You reached your zenith when the WrestleMania that we went to. You got us in the shade.
That more so than being in the pit for Radiohead?
Oh fuck, man! You got us in the pit at Radiohead. That is a mutant ability of yours, my friend.
Like for a 2-year stretch, I got incredible tickets to everything I tried to get. Absolutely incredible. I went and I was in the pit for that show. I was second row for a different show. Just an incredible string of luck.
Oh, that's great. Let's see here. The pit at Radiohead. Let's see here. Bo Dallas versus Neville.
This match was interesting on 2 counts. First,
On a couple different counts, yeah.
Bo Dallas beat Neville.
Clean.
Something we never would have fathomed 6 months ago.
He's starting to grow out that beard.
Yeah.
And the way he acts, man, they're teasing us. It's like there's some low-level writer there who's in charge of like the Bo Dallas storylines and like a couple other things that like listens to the show or something. Because sometimes some of our shit, and it's like, I know he's not like the kind of writer who's big enough to like get him over to SmackDown, which is a task in the first place.
Yeah.
But to have him join the Wyatt family, he's not that guy. But he's going to try to work his way up. Maybe if he just chips away at this Bo storyline, by the time he gets to where he wants to get, he'll have the stroke to get him into the Wyatt family.
That could be.
I'm pulling for whoever that guy is. because he's the official Going in Raw writer of WWE programming.
But yeah, it was really surprising to see Neville lose first. And then after the match, Curtis Axel, who we all thought was Bo Dallas's best friend,
He was
in the ring,
He was
cheering, celebrating Bo's win, only for Bo to turn on him.
Yeah.
Beat him up.
Beat him. But hey, you know what? This is going to lead to a Bo Curtis Axel feud, even just in the short term.
Well,
like
definitely a pre-show match.
A pre-show
at,
match. That's
at
what
Hell
I'm
in a
thinking.
Cell, yeah, for
like
sure.
like a curtain jerking pre-show match, because this is like bottom of the barrel. I'm all for it. I love Curtis Axel. The more he's on TV, the happier I am. And I love Bo Dallas. The more he's on TV, the happier I am.
Yep.
Oh, Dana Brooke.
Another surprising development.
Dana Brooke. What are we gonna do with you, Dana Brooke?
Well, let's set this all up.
She needed another year in NXT, dude.
Yeah.
She could have been dominant in NXT. Yeah. She really could have been.
I know. She could have been the heel that NXT needs right now.
I know.
So they announced earlier in the night that Dana Brooke will be taking on Bayley.
Yeah.
Following what happened last week after Bayley's match on Raw, when Dana Brooke laid her out.
Right.
So, match happens. Bayley takes has the upper hand early.
Yeah.
Dana comes back, and there's a spot where Dana hits Bayley's head off the ring post, and Bayley kind of falls on the apron. Dana pushes her back in the ring, covers her, and it's obvious that the pinfall did not go correctly.
Right.
Because Dana kind of seems awkward and uncomfortable doing the pin and kind of looks behind her.
Yeah.
And then the ref just counts the 3.
Yeah.
But he seemed hesitant to do it.
Yeah.
But just did it.
Yeah.
And then my first thought was, oh, she's supposed to have her feet on the ropes.
Yep. Yeah.
And we didn't talk about it beforehand. You came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
And I think she looked back and saw that she was a good 8 inches away from being able to do that.
Because I noticed it, and then at Real Going in Raw, like, botch. Everybody saw that.
This is at least the second, if not third time I can recall Dana Brooke messing up a spot.
It's at least 3 at this point. It's at least 3.
And the last night was a really important time to get it right. Because Bayley should not be taking clean losses to Dana Brooke.
And even the commentators were like, they were trying to cover for it. Like Byron said something, and Corey Graves had to go after. What? You have to remember to bring up Corey Graves' thing during the Braun Strowman match.
Okay.
The Noah Jose reference.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love him. I love him so much. Yeah. So this. Okay. Here's my early prediction for Hell in a Cell: Bayley versus Dana Brooke is going to be a squash match.
Yeah.
I think that because they have to punish her somehow.
Yeah.
And they're going to make her look so bad.
And on WWE.com posted a video last night where they tried to cover for it somewhat.
Really? Okay.
Where they had Bayley getting help to the back. Mm-hmm. So like the spot with the ring post knocked her out or something like that.
All right.
So I saw that as an attempt to kind of cover the botch spot.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. There's going to be some sort of Bayley squash match coming.
They're gonna
very
make
soon.
no bones about this. Like they might even put this on SmackDown tonight.
I mean, both shows are in Denver. It's possible.
It's possible. I know exactly. Yeah, Bayley versus Dana Brooke too.
Yeah, Bayley's going to have a very quick, very decisive win over Dana Brooke.
Very decisive, exactly.
Very, very soon.
That's how that shit's going to.
So I mean, like this could have been a decent feud to get him past Hell in a Cell. It would have given Dana something to do. Would have given Bayley something to do. But then, just the finish of that match just kind of messed everything up.
Yeah, I know.
Like this could have been a decent 1 month feud for both of them.
Yep. I wonder who got yelled at the most. Dana Brooke or the ref? Could the ref have done something in that situation?
No,
probably not. Huh?
No.
You're pinned. You have to start counting. Yeah.
Other than because I'm sure Bayley didn't know that Dana's feet weren't on the ropes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the ref, what he could have done is told Bayley kick out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then but then Dana's.
The ref needs to trust Dana that she's going to have her freaking.
I know. But then at the same time, if the ref tells Bayley, hey, kick out, the spot's not right, then they have to improvise a new spot on the fly, and Dana is not that experienced.
Yeah, that's true.
So who knows if they could have done something on the spot that would have been
razor thin margin of error, and Dana Brooke has not figured it out. Yeah,
it's just inexperience.
Yep. Let's see here. We have then we had the Paul Heyman interview where he basically just sort of gets the crowd hyped
Well, he kind of backtracked from the challenge last week. It's called it a rhetorical challenge.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't really... He was like, yeah, we challenged you, but Goldberg, we challenged you, but it wasn't a real challenge. But if you say yes, you will piss off Brock Lesnar and we'll have a match anyways.
Yeah.
Kind of the gist of it.
Let's see here.
It was funny, though, when the crowd was... shoot, what were they chanting? The crowd was saying something. And Heyman takes the earpiece out of his ear and says, I could hear you, Denver. That was funny.
I love Paul. Oh, man. Let's see here. Let's talk about this for a little while. Braun Strowman versus the Mile High Trio.
Yeah.
And what did Corey Graves say? He says, well, I didn't know better. I think that fella's name... I think that fella is no way Jose's cousin. Fuck, what did he say? Perhaps not Jorge.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's great. So Braun Strowman took on 3 local enhancement talents from the Denver area.
Yeah.
And it was... I'm telling... Dude, I know. I can watch this shit all day long. I can watch that big bastard destroy little tiny jobbers all freaking day long. Give me a pay-per-view where it's just a 3-hour gauntlet match.
Yes.
Where it's just Braun in the ring and he's just fed jobbers.
It starts with one guy.
Yeah, then 2 guys.
He dispatches them quickly. Gets on the mic. Like Foley. Give me real competition. 2.
Yeah.
Just repeat that until there's literally 15 guys in the ring against Braun Strowman. I'd watch
great.
it.
Yeah,
I'd watch that too.
I'd totally watch that all day long.
In your house.
Yeah, Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So then he says he gets rid of these guys, and he says at one point he actually throws one guy at the others.
Yeah,
gets on the mic. Foley, give me more competition.
Yeah, or he says I'm gonna go back in the locker room and just beat people up. I think. He said.
So out comes
yeah, Sami Zayn comes out. They have a stare down.
Yeah.
Braun pushes him out of the ring, and then just leaves.
And then our Twitter at Real Going in Raw just has a collective shit their pants moment where they're saying, oh, God, they're going to feed Sami Zayn to Braun. The world is ending. The walls are falling down. We're here to walk you off that edge, people.
What is Sami Zayn? What's his character?
He's the underdog from an underground location.
Well, the underground.
Some undisclosed underground bunker of some sort.
It's not a literal underground.
No, it's a figurative underground bunker location.
Okay, anyways. This feeds into Sami's gimmick.
Perfectly. Yeah. Now, in the end, in their final blow-off match, who's going to go over?
Braun.
Because Braun will benefit more from, the company as a whole will benefit way more from Braun going over than Sami. I still have high hopes for Braun.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful, but not overly optimistic. But I'm hopeful. Just
based on these squash matches, they should have gotten old months ago or weeks ago.
I know.
And they're still entertaining.
I still love them. Sami Zayn, for any of you who don't understand this, is not a main eventer at this point. He hasn't been in a main event scene really since he was champion for a month in NXT.
Yeah.
Before he gladly gave it back over to his friend and made Kevin Owens look like $1 million. Sami Zayn's thing is he is the underdog. Sami Zayn will be a massive main eventer, superstar at some point.
And the alternative to Zayn being involved in a feud with Strowman is what Sami had been doing the previous few weeks, which is pretty much nothing.
Mm-hmm. What we're seeing right now is the in-between time. And in my opinion, the longer the better, assuming neither of them get injured. But once he comes back up around to Kevin Owens, it's going to be even huger because Sami's going to be doing things like this.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yep.
He can lose to Braun Strowman. He can make Braun look great. And Braun will make Sami look great. This entire program is going to make Sami look so strong.
Because I wonder if people are worried that Braun's going to squash Sami too.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
He's going to look great. Now, and if you recall correctly, who squashed Sami Zayn last time? Kevin Owens. And Sami was just fine.
Yep.
He held that NXT title and he looked like a child against Kevin Owens, just completely massacring him.
But the return, the rematch was a much tighter contest.
Their blow off at Battleground.
No, I'm talking about the rematch in NXT.
Yeah. But then their eventual blow off at Battleground was amazing. Now, will we get the same kind of thing with Braun Strowman? I don't know. But I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to put more faith in Sami Zayn that he can recover so easily. He's not Neville. I mean, they're not going to have... Well, they might have him dropped at Bo Dallas, but I really doubt it.
Yeah.
They're on two different levels, and I honestly think that they know there's a lot of money to be made in Sami Zayn down the line. And that could be just me...
No, I agree with
that. That could be hopeful thinking. I honestly think that.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I mean, he was in NXT for like 3 years. The entire time he was there, he was chasing the belt, and he didn't get it for 3 years. It was obstacle after obstacle after, and then he gets it, and what happens? He immediately squashes out to Kevin Owens. Doesn't mean he's not going to get...
Facing adversity is pretty much his gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
And right now on Raw, who is... the disparity in size between Strowman and Zayn is pretty significant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right here in this potential match, you see pretty much Sami Zayn's entire storyline for his WWE career.
Who did they have Nakamura come in and fight?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Exactly. That shows you how much faith they know how much this guy can bring.
Yep.
He will be fine against Braun Strowman.
He will bring a good match out of Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
And I really hope they give these guys promo time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the first match will probably happen in Hell in a Cell, so there's not much time. But give them a good 10-minute, or at least 5-minute segment where they can talk at each other.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll happen. I hope it's just not a pre-show match.
I mean, I was so excited when he came out because to me it was like, okay, I got so frustrated with just seeing him and Neville tag teaming.
I know.
There is nothing happening there.
I know.
This is a story. This is something big. This is something for him to do.
And it's a story that plays into both guys' strengths.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, for me, it's exciting.
Everything will be fine. I know. I'm excited to see Sami Zayn do some shit.
Yeah. That's why I'm involved in something that feels significant.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, man. One of my highlights of the night.
I thought it was your highlight.
Definitely my highlight of the night. Rusev. Letting us into the Rusev family.
Yeah.
Letting us see.
See, like last night we learned that Rusev is a Pink Floyd fan. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that before.
That was good. And he showed us all pictures. He said, Roman Reigns, you talk about your Samoans or your family. Here's my family. And we got to meet Brother Rusev, who's a chef.
Yeah.
And we got to meet Mama Rusev,
who was a
championship
rower.
Papa Rusev with this amazing mustache.
Amazing mustache. Who was a championship wrestler.
He was a championship wrestler. He was an army guy. He was a military guy. And Babushka.
His grandmother.
His Grandma Rusev. And then we met his cousin, his dog. His dog has won multiple dog shows.
Yeah.
It was all very nice. And then
Reigns
mean bully Roman Reigns
had to come out and interrupt him.
And interrupt family time with Rusev.
Well, then Reigns says, I was talking about family. I wasn't just talking about his actual family. He was talking about the Roman Empire, which I guess is his fans.
I guess. I don't know. Is he giving us a history lesson?
I don't know. And then, he just got in the ring and then talked some more, and then Lana slapped him.
Yeah.
And then Rusev kicked him in the head.
I really like that sequence, too, because she slaps him and kind of stuns him a bit, and Rusev sort of gently pushes her out of the way, just very flowingly.
I know.
Kicked the shit out of his head. Oh, my God.
Which Michael Cole called a super kick, but that's not a super kick.
Michael Cole also called, we didn't even talk about this, he called Goldberg the greatest WCW champion in history. How many of these can we reel off?
Well, let's start.
Booker T.
Ric Flair.
I mean, look, to me, there's no question. It's Ric Flair's number one.
Yeah.
It's Ric Flair, Sting,
yes,
Barry Windham, Lex Luger. He's up there. Kevin Nash, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, who, by the way, they mentioned on the show last night.
I know. DDP,
Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. Come on.
What about Jeff Jarrett?
I mean, I would say this: Goldberg's better than Jeff Jarrett.
Yes.
It's like this. We can go from the bottom, basically. I would say this from the bottom, the worst. Vince Russo, David Arquette, Jeff Jarrett, then Lex Luger.
Did Barry Windham? He was the NWA World Champion. I don't think he was ever WCW
I
World
think
Champion.
you're right about that.
Oh, we didn't mention Sid.
Oh, who's better, Sid or Goldberg? I would say Goldberg.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sid, Goldberg's still right here. Sid.
Honestly, I would put Goldberg ahead of Kevin Nash.
Really?
I think so.
Wow. I'd put Goldberg probably ahead of DDP, to be honest with you. In terms of impactful
Oh, yeah.
WCW.
Oh, yeah.
Look, Goldberg had a massive impact, but he wasn't bigger than Hollywood Hogan. He wasn't bigger than Sting. He might have been bigger in terms of WCW champion impact, probably Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Randy Savage was much more impactful over here in WWF.
Yeah.
Much more iconic wrestler, but his WCW champion reign, I don't remember anything about it. But Booker T's up there.
Yes.
Booker T's definitely up there.
Yes. I would say Flair, Sting, and Booker T are probably, I would say, the top 3 WCW champs.
I would agree with that completely. And we're just talking about during the time in WCW, not like after the WWE bust them. Let's see here. We were talking about Michael
Rusev.
Cole, super kick, Rusev. Yeah, okay.
So the segment ended with Rusev putting the accolade on Reigns while they're atop steel steps.
Yes.
Which looked great.
I'm not really sure what impact it would have. I guess maybe there's more leverage that he can bend the body more.
No, but it wasn't the one with the step on it. It was just the flat one.
Yeah.
So Reigns' most of his body would be on the steel steps.
Yeah, it would actually probably help Reigns a bit more than not.
Yeah, because then he can drop the back of his legs.
Or it would just be a wash.
But also it might be a little slippery, so I don't know if Rusev could have as much leverage as he could on the canvas.
I have no idea.
Has more,
Machka.
Yeah,
it's got more Machka. Big Cass took on Carl Anderson.
In a squash match, essentially.
Yes.
How long was this match? Like 2 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. I know. This bugs me, dude.
It's frustrating.
The club need to be the revival of
the main
Raw,
roster. I know.
Of Raw. They really do.
They do.
Like the revival are booked so perfectly.
I know.
They're booked so perfectly.
Those are guys that
but
are...
instead, they're the Dan Matha of the main roster.
They, the revival are kind of like every possible variation of heel wrapped into one team.
Yeah.
At times they're cowardly heels. At times they can be monster heels because they can be dominant.
Yeah.
There's like every variation of a heel pretty much you can think of, they can be at whatever suits them.
Yeah.
They're that versatile. It's great.
Carl Anderson should not be getting squashed against Cass.
No.
This shouldn't be happening.
No. Like we said on the Machinima recap, like if they want to protect Cass, either before the match or at any point during the match, just have Gallows go in there and have the club
Well, that's what it should be.
beat up
It should be
Enzo and Cass.
Gallows should somehow find a way to eliminate Enzo off the bat, and then they both team up on Cass. That's how it should go down.
Yeah.
And they don't even care about the match. They don't care about getting a win. They don't care about one-on-one. They don't care anything about that. They care about beating the crap out of people and establishing the dominance.
The thing about having Cass win too last night is that it just takes all the heat away from the club.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where's their heat now?
Yeah.
They're gonna have a tag match between them and Enzo and Cass. It's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. They'll probably lose.
And the thing about it, dude, is that they can even make Cass look better than just squashing Carl Anderson by putting up a good fight against Carl Anderson and Gallows, but gets, they beat him up. Could you imagine if they did something really creative with this? Like, what if they did some sort of chair spot that was harmless to everybody? What if they did something that was like extra messed up, where they really made it look like they hurt Cass and Enzo was helpless? What if they tied up Enzo in the ropes and made him watch them destroy Cass?
They could put the chair on Cass's ankle.
Yeah, exactly.
Something
exactly.
like that. Jump
There's
on
a
a few
story
times.
right there.
Yeah.
And then that gives an additional story leading into their next encounter because they messed up Cass's ankle and they can work on
and
it.
it gives the club a ton of heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they need.
Yeah.
Because right now they have no heat.
They have zero heat. And matches like this do not help the case.
No.
We had some cruiserweight.
Because even after Anderson lost, they just left the ring.
I know.
It's frustrating.
It is. They could be doing so much with this. I mean, give me 2 minutes to tell you what to do. We had the cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
First, there was some backstage stuff. I am so done. Like TJ Perkins, I don't care about him all. I am all about number one. Either give the belt to Brian Kendrick, or give it to, or just fast track Cedric Alexander. One of those two things.
Well, I think they will. I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick gets the belt at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And then I think Cedric is next in line.
I would hope so, because those people pop for him, man.
Yep.
He is a hell
Either
of a wrestler.
Cedric or Rich Swann.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Cedric though. I think Rich Swann is gonna be hanging out in NXT for a little while. I think he's gonna be sort of.
Well, Cedric has been too.
I know, but I think Cedric's gonna be up quicker. I don't know. There's more upside him, I think.
Oh, I agree.
Let's see here. So yeah, and then there was a match. So there was like an awkward backstage segment where Brian Kendrick seemed to be the only guy who knows what he's doing, and I like those old guys, man. And that led to a six-man tag match. The Faces versus the Rudos, Rudos Deliciosos, and who went over?
Kendrick got Swan to tap out.
What is it with the cruiserweight? We get a question about this later on. What is it about the cruiserweights? Oh, I think somebody mentioned this. I think last week
that the changing of the ring setup takes
energy out of the crowd,
enthusiasm out of the arena. Yeah,
and so by the time they get around to the match, they're like, "Oh man, I had those nachos. Now I'm just tired." And so the crowd is always like, they need to look. I know, just put the cruiserweights in their own show, and then maybe like a spotlight match on Raw. I just think that's the way to go.
Well, I think having the Cruiserweight Classic at Full Sail.
Yeah, I know.
In front of the NXT crowd.
I know.
Kind of raised one's expectations of how those matches would play on the main roster.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a way to fix it, but they need to fix it. They can't just keep on doing the same thing.
I know.
Lita interviewed Sasha Banks, and she talked about making history a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
She said, "Are you afraid?" She said, "It's not really fear." That's all. I mean, I sort of paid attention for half a second. Because you know why? I'm like, get us to interview her. We were better. We'll talk about C.W. Anderson peeing himself. Give me a break. What a great interview we did. Can I get a 2 sweet for our interview prowess?
No.
Our skills at the interview position? I can't get a 2 sweet for that?
Nope.
No? Let's see here. And then Kendrick Perkins.
Oh, yeah.
TJ Perkins.
I thought you were going to talk about Stephanie and Mick backstage talking about Survivor Series.
Oh, yeah. The ongoing, and everybody starts freaking out. Is she a face? Is she a heel? What is she? I do like the part where he went for a hug and she said, "No hug, just high five." That was really cute. She did that perfectly. He went for a hug and she was like, "Yeah, no hug." And then Goldberg came back, and then the show closed.
Yeah.
I do like when Goldberg hoisted his kid up on his shoulder. The kid was like, "Oh, shit." Can you imagine? He jackhammers his son outside of the ring. He says, "If I'll do that to my son, imagine what I'm going to do to you, Brock Lesnar." That'd be great. Why didn't they do that? Get us on the booking staff.
It's because Goldberg's supposed to be the good guy, man.
Vince, I got a great idea. You think people aren't going to pop for jackhammering a kid? That'd be great. Little rich, spoiled kid getting jackhammered by his dad.
Oh, man.
Nobody's going to boo that. That'd be amazing. And then Brock Lesnar's like, "Oh my God, what have I got myself into?" This
it's like Lesnar just said, "I don't give a shit about your kids."
Exactly.
Later, and then Goldberg's like, "I literally don't."
He's like, "I don't give a shit about my kids." That's how little I give a shit about your kids, Brock Lesnar.
That would take this few into a whole
about your little weird area,
weird thing
about your little Sable babies. Did he have babies for Sable?
Yeah,
yeah. I was listening to this shoot interview. Jim Cornette is shooting on Sable. God, that guy throws around the C word like it's like it cost a dime.
Man, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
The Adam Mayhem brand.
That's pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jericho Kunzman also asked this question.
Steve
put the questions on the show notes this week.
I did, because sometimes, like, you guys, like, God bless you for your passion, but sometimes you guys write, like, fucking novels on our question sheet. And so I boiled them down to their essence.
Should we suggest a word count for questions?
Like, just pay attention to Twitter. Like, Twitter's 140. You guys get 140 characters.
Give them 200.
200? Make it even 200?
Or 2 sentences.
2 sentences.
Well, even then, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Because I could probably make a 35-word sentence pretty easily.
Like, we don't really want this podcast to go past the 2-hour mark. I'm happy with 2 hours. 2 hours is okay.
2 hours is okay.
All right.
All right, ready. What do you guys...
Oh, and by the way, when I say one question, that means one question. Some of you guys I got 2 questions, but it says just do one question. Anyways, go ahead.
What do you guys think the stipulation for the Raw versus SmackDown Live Survivor Series match should be? They think either winner is number 30 at the Rumble or winner gets title shot stipulation.
Yeah.
Well, there was rumors going around that they were going to treat those Survivor Series matches like a best-of-3 series, with the winning brand receiving a trophy and getting to draft three people from the losing team's roster.
I think everybody who wins on the winning roster should get like a coupon for a free taco at Taco Bell.
Okay.
That's it. I don't want any stakes. I honestly don't want
No,
any
I
stakes.
do, because otherwise they don't matter.
Winner gets title shot.
No, it should be...
What title? Like, what? I don't get it.
No,
What
I
title?
like the idea of whoever picks up the win for the winning team gets the number 30 spot in the Rumble or something. But even then, I think it should be brand specific what the winning team gets.
Okay, so the Rumble's going to be a big
How about this?
mixture.
The
of
winning
things.
team gets the Monday night time slot. Monday night SmackDown.
That just sounds weird. Monday night Smackdown, and Tuesday Nitro or not Raw.
Tuesday
it's not
Nitro?
even Nitro. It's Raw.
Tuesday night
I
Raw.
don't like any of that.
Do you guys think we'll have a 20-woman Rumble this year? No.
No, I don't know.
P.S. One of them got tickets to the Royal Rumble. I'm guessing it's Adam Mayhem. Section G, right behind the commentators. Cool.
Good job. Well done.
Retired Dwayne Nix. Happy to see Sami Zayn getting some work on Raw, but is feeding him to Braun Strowman is kind of depressing. How do you guys feel about Sami possibly getting job to Strowman? We think it's great.
Market answered. Answered earlier.
Great.
Yeah.
Give him something to do. Thunder Down Under Husky Harris. Sami Zayn 3-minute squash match to Strowman, or will we get an actual match from these two? I wouldn't be surprised if they wheeled out Zayn for the sake of making Strowman look even bigger and stronger.
I don't know where in his history that have they treated Sami Zayn like that when it wasn't in a story that mattered.
I know.
What do you have to go off of that premise? I understand that you guys are scared that because everybody loves Sami Zayn that they're just going to mistreat him in that manner, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Look at it this way. How many weeks has Strowman been demanding stiffer competition from Foley?
Yeah.
3, 4?
Yeah.
And who steps up to the plate?
Yeah.
Sami Zayn.
Exactly.
Because he is a worthy competitor.
Yeah. Because
Look at it that way.
Nobody else is doing anything.
We're not going to get a 3-minute squash match. We'll get probably a 7-minute match.
And here's the thing: even if we do get a 3-minute squash
As
match,
long as it
it's
pushes the
going to lead
storyline
to a
then
rematch
it's fine.
where he continues on and does stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
We might get a squash match, but after that he'll probably have a rematch. So I mean, same thing he does with Kevin Owens. The Kevin Owens squash match was shocking.
Yeah,
that was just brutal.
How many times did he powerbomb in the other match?
Many, all of them.
They called the match as a TKO victory.
Yeah,
unprecedented. Andrew Lemon. Love the show. Your podcast helps me get through the workday without going batshit insane. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Andrew's question is, this week is what superstar from any previous era do you think could fit in the main roster now and why? For example, Andrew would put Foley's Old Mankind persona on Raw as he had an awesome way of enduring a lot of hits and making his opponents looking strong, which a few on the main could use. Take care. Love the show. Thank you.
What superstar from any previous era could fit in the main roster now and why? Mark Henry. It's questions like this. I miss Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
Kurt Angle.
Put Eddie Guerrero. But here's the thing about Eddie Guerrero. Put him on any roster in any era, and he fits right in.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, same thing to be said.
Josh, how long until Y2J and Owens fight? Well, I mean, they're fighting next week on Raw.
Yeah.
They have a match with Rollins. Granted, triple threat, but still.
Do you think it's going to be... I mean, I think after Hell in a Cell, probably...
Yeah, it could be as soon as Survivor Series.
Maybe Survivor Series.
Oh, no, because they're going to be involved. Stephanie made it seem like they're going to be involved in that match. The Survivor Series
Maybe
match.
that match, like with them both in it, will kick off their feud.
So maybe the soonest would be
Rumble.
Roadblock's a December one.
Yeah. Joaquin Morales.
Do you think that was the best comeback promo for one match ever? Speaking of Goldberg's. I definitely think it was the best when it came to fan interaction.
Nothing to me will ever beat when Triple H came back from his injury And he didn't we have like we did a top 10 returns where you can take a look on our channel, top 10 returns where we talk about these. But when he came back and I think he just said, I'm back for the Rumble or something like that. Or maybe the first time like the Undertaker came back and he pointed at the WrestleMania sign. The first time somebody pointed at the WrestleMania sign, pretty sure it was Taker.
Yeah. Western States Heritage Champion Matthew E. Williams, Esquire.
He sent us a link to his, I know there's like a freaking ad or something. He sent us a link to his YouTube video of him taking the Western States Heritage Championship off of Larry Zbyszko.
Really?
Leaked footage is like the last Battle of Atlanta.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It was from back in the day. Very,
check
very
that out,
cool,
then.
yeah.
Fitting that the tape of winning my belt leaked today on the 100 of my title reign.
Yeah.
With the entire Goldberg return seeming to come from his inclusion in 2K, do you think of any other wrestler alive out there that would be at least Goldberg-esque loved if they return and would return for one more go? This bug is
throwing you off your game.
Yeah.
So are there any other wrestlers alive out there that would
get the
Goldberg love?
Yeah, essentially.
And his name is Kurt Angle.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Or Alberto Del Rio. I'm joking.
Carlos Hackworth. Hello, friendos. Raw is a little more entertaining this week. Over the past few weeks, I find myself watching Raw only for their women's and cruiserweight divisions. What catches you the most about Raw this week other than seeing Goldberg? I think Rusev and Reigns, that feud has been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's a good one. They've made a lot out of it. More than I figured they would.
Yeah, the Owens-Rollins feud has been largely overshadowed by Jericho, but knowing that we're going to get a Jericho-Owens feud pretty shortly is exciting.
Yeah,
so I'm interested in that.
It's just fun to see those two every week go at it.
But I agree, the women's division has been top-notch of late.
Yeah.
Craig Stevenson. Hey, friendos. Now that Goldberg is back in the WWE for what he calls his last match, can you see WWE trying to extend his career by dropping in a WrestleMania match with The Undertaker to see both men off in a single match?
I'm going to say no to The Undertaker. I would really, really doubt that one.
Yeah.
But I think, like we said earlier, Rusev would be a good option for him.
Yeah.
Nick Horrigan.
Hey, guys. New patron. My first question is, with Goldberg returning for one last match against Lesnar, who else would you like to see him wrestle?
Rusev.
Yeah. Michael Barnes. Did the promo get either of you two any more hype for their rematch?
Are we hyped up for this match? I'll say this. I'm about 20% more hyped after the promo than before the promo.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
He did a good job.
He did.
He did a good job.
I mean, I don't think the match is going to be 5 stars.
No, I don't think so either.
But
I just want to see a little bit. I want to see Brock shit himself a little bit. I want to see him at least be a little freaked out. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I even doubt that might happen, but I'd like to see it.
Will. How long do you think it's gonna be until they have Lesnar lose cleanly to somebody?
Well, let me ask you this: do you think the person Lesnar loses to cleanly, the guy who takes the streak, do you think he's signed with the WWE yet?
I think he's signed to either WWE or NXT. I think he's in.
The only guy I can think of possibly is Nakamura. He's the only guy I can think of. He's
pretty much the top pick, I think, right now.
He is. I don't see it being Joe. I see it being Nakamura. That dude is so much money. God, he's so much money. Because he's the only other guy who's like not of this world. You know what I mean? He's so alien, like the same way Brock, or not the same way, but in the same manner. Like Brock is like not of this planet. He's like monster. Nakamura is like a freaking alien. You know what I mean? Like you can't get past. That's part of his allure. You can't get past what's going on out here. You can't get in there. You have no idea.
Yeah.
And he's just so unpredictable.
Yeah.
He's fucking a million. God, I love Nakamura so much.
Ty Dillinger. That's the man to beat Brock Lesnar.
That's the guy right there, yeah.
Perfect 10.
Bobby Roode.
Mark Lancaster. I understand that Brock is most likely going... What?
I like that name. Mark Lancaster.
I understand that Brock is most likely going to go over Goldberg. However, disregarding that, I would just like to know who either of you want to win the match, regardless of how lopsided it is. I mean, Lesnar should win.
Yeah, Lesnar. But I want Goldberg to beat Rusev at Mania.
Yeah.
I think that in my universe that is balance.
Yes.
Andrew Piovani.
Hey, friendos. I wasn't really excited for Goldberg's return, but found myself with goosebumps during his entrance. Can really feel the emotion coming off him, so just wondering how you guys felt on it and where it ranks in comeback moments for you. P.S. Loving Rusev Triple H mutton chops.
That was great. If we did our top returns list, let's say 6 months from now, where would his have ranked? Bottom 3. So 7, 8, or
Yeah, I was gonna
8,
say
9, or 10.
I was gonna say 7 or 8.
Who was that? I forget who was on like the lower ones.
I don't
A lot of good returns on there.
Yeah, there was. I'll have to look it up.
I'd say between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
All right.
X-Ray guy. I know that all logic should suggest that Goldberg has no chance at winning, but something in my mind tells me he may just possibly come out on top. What chance do you guys give him? Short of interference, 0.
If there's no interference, 0. It's like negative. None.
Yeah.
No.
Raf Rodriguez.
But I want them to build it to make me think that he does.
Exactly.
I think they can do that.
Yes. Going back to this recent episode of Raw, I have 2 questions.
One question. You have one question. Did anyone else notice that Goldberg seemed to have a hitch in his step? He was kind of hobbling around the ring, which makes me think he might have been injured.
No.
I didn't notice that.
No.
And I didn't hear anybody else talk about that either.
No.
Number 2, is there another reason for the Goldberg versus Lesnar match other than promoting the new game? A reason to, give... I don't think this is exclusively to promote the game.
No, I think they probably thought this would be a match that would get people to tune into Survivor Series.
The only reason is because WWE thinks it'll make them money. I'll put it this way. Nobody was ever going to get like an ultimate. They weren't trying to get an Ultimate Warrior versus Lesnar match. He was there to promote the game.
Yep.
So, Patrick Sparks. Hey, friendo, it's Pat here.
Last night, they were promoting Goldberg in 2K17. They said it was one of the best pre-order releases in 2K history, which indeed I believe. But how do you think the marquee reading Goldberg returns to Raw tonight affected the show's TV rating? I feel a lot of people got aboard the train. Oh yeah, he said 2K WWE 17.
I would have to believe that the ratings were significantly better. I don't see anything about the ratings right now.
Might be a little early.
Might be a little early for that. Continue on.
Sorry, got water.
Oh God, he's throwing up, everybody. There's throw up everywhere right now. Jeffrey Wynn.
Sorry.
Did you catch the raw follow-up video of Goldberg on YouTube? He didn't say a word and just stood there intense and grunting, which is completely different from his family-friendly promo in the ring. Feels all over the place, in my opinion. I didn't see it, so I don't really have an opinion on it.
I didn't either.
But
Sorry,
that's cool.
I
Oh God, he's throwing up.
Water.
I'm sorry.
Water went down the wrong pipe. I'm sorry.
Just Luke and to a degree Cesar Garcia also sort of had the same-ish question. I think the Cruiserweight division is going to grow stale if the WWE keeps the title on TJ Perkins. Do you think Brian Kendrick is the guy that will bring life back to the division if given the title? If not, who do you think would, and how would you book it? I don't necessarily think it's who has the belt. It's how they are presenting the Cruiserweights on the show, kind of.
Yeah.
Jam-packing a bunch of 6-man tag matches just isn't the way to do it.
No, and I think if they get a weekly show,
Yeah.
they can highlight more of the talent in depth. And as you say, have maybe 1 or 2 matches a week on Raw.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Brian Kendrick, if given the chance to carry the belt, could,
But the
do
bottom
good
line is
work.
if they're just cramming these 6-man tag matches
I
in
know.
there. I think here's what you do. You get your weekly Cruiserweight show, and that's where you carry out your storylines. And then you do a couple feature matches, which help promote the show on Raw. You know what I mean? Like just one-on-one good matchups or even tag matches.
Yeah.
But just trying to cram all these Cruiserweights into
They're not really furthering feuds beyond Kendrick and Perkins.
Yeah.
There's no B story.
And that feud just feels so flat.
Yeah.
They're not really doing anything with it.
Yeah. Smap D. Jones. Is there any chance that WWE will create a 1-hour Cruiserweight show for the network right after NXT? Well, this week was better. They can't do this. Pretty much exactly what we just said.
Yeah.
They can't do 3-man tag matches to get the 6 Cruiserweights on Raw.
Yeah. I agree. Hopefully they will.
Ruben Gutierrez. Hey, friendos. Do you feel the Cruiserweight division will eventually be watered down due to them fitting the WWE style?
I'm not sure it's them trying to fit the WWE style, but I mean, I guess that's a concern, maybe. They brought all these great guys in to the Cruiserweights, and they all have like different styles.
Yeah.
And then but I don't. I haven't really. The thing is, when you have 6-man tag matches, it's hard to really let them do their thing.
I know.
To a degree,
Especially when they only have 7 to 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jobber to the stars, Clayton C. He decided to raise his pledge from $5 to $20 a month.
Thank you, friendo.
Thank you very much. Clayton's been watching us since 10 for the Win back in 2011. It feels great to increase my support for you and your content monetarily.
Thank you.
You guys seem to be super over on the idea of pairing Bo Dallas with his brother Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
If this happens, do you think we could see the return of Erwin R. Shyster as a manager?
Yes.
Would you want to see that?
Absolutely.
I can't be the only one who would love that odd couple pairing together, right?
I'll be honest. I can't give a good reason why I wouldn't want to see that. It would totally be like so out of place and stupid.
What, have IRS
Yeah.
be their manager?
It'd be great. No, it wouldn't be great.
No, it'd be not great.
It would be totally horrible.
Jeffrey D, do you think Charlotte versus Sasha will headline Hell in the Cell? Confirmed, yes.
What's up with my refund, man? Ha ha ha! Sister Abigail went to TurboTax.
Oh, man. Lucas Coward Marshall, if you were Triple H for a day, what would you do for the WWE?
Great question.
Also, Lucas's copy of 2K17 is on its way. Time to think of sweet names for his wrestlers.
Good job. If you were Triple H for a day, what would you do?
Sign Jay Lethal.
Oh, that's a good one. Ooh, I'd sign them Briscoe brothers.
Joshua Martinez, new patron here. Almost said new friendo here. So no gimmick yet. Joshua was wondering if you guys ever thought about making Fuck Wrestling into some sort of tournament for the friendos using 2K17 with the winner winning some sort of prize. I had thought about doing something to get more friendos involved. I just don't know. I've never played 2K16 or 17 online.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how the logistics would work.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that I wouldn't mind.
Because we have discussed.
Here's one thing I wouldn't
stuff.
mind doing. I think it'd be kind of fun. It would encourage other friendos to get their stuff up on YouTube. Is creating a playlist on our YouTube channel where, it's like, I don't even know if we can do this, but I think we could. If people send us the links to if they download, we haven't put one up yet, this for 2K17. If they download the Fuck Wrestling Arena, or like we'll do a variation on the Fuck Wrestling Arena, and they have matches with their characters in that arena, upload it to YouTube, and then we'll add it to a playlist on our YouTube channel so everybody can see their video on our channel, and it gives their YouTube channel just a tiny little bit of exposure. Yeah. It's like if you do something that really impresses us, we'll be like, hey, you guys need to check out this match. It's this one on the playlist.
Yeah.
Our YouTube channel sitting there, it gets a little bit of traffic. Or what?
I got an idea. We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
James Rodriguez.
Yes.
Do you think Seth really deserves yet another title shot?
Oh, no.
Since returning and losing the belt to Dean at Money in the Bank, he has had about 10 title opportunities and has not managed to come through in any of those matches. At what point do they bring in someone as a new challenger?
He's biding his time right now. Until he gets to Triple H. I agree. I mean, it's just it's feeling really stale.
You think Triple H will make an appearance at Hell in a Cell? Kind of feels like he has to, doesn't it?
I mean, it seems like he would have at this point. We keep on saying, he's gonna. I would think so, probably,
because it's been almost 2 months.
I mean, at Hell in a Cell, it seems to be the time and place for it.
Keenan the Crazy. What 3 things could Raw do to make risky changes to make things random and fun to see? Things don't need to be random, just unpredictable.
No, I like this, though.
Oh, okay.
Risky changes to make things random. He's not asking us how should they change it. He's saying what could they do to make what risky changes to make things random and fun to see. Every match a ladder match.
Okay.
Go ahead. Your turn.
I'm thinking still. Okay. You do your 3 and I'll do my 3.
All right. Every match is a ladder match.
Oh, okay. I got one. Put the ring on a suspended platform above the arena and move it back and forth.
Okay.
Around the arena and have it swing too.
Okay, no. I got another one though. Scrap my ladder match. That's boring.
That is boring.
This is fun and random.
Okay.
Instead of your idea though.
No, my idea is good.
I like your idea, but
good.
Also instead of booking these arenas, just go on a tour, and every city that has an Olympic-sized swimming pool, go book. That's where you have Raw, and so your ring will be suspended above the pool. And then that's where they'll do it. And then people just have to sort of stand around the side. And then they have bleachers. I think a lot of these, like maybe it's at a high school or it's at like a gym or something like that, which is like a really good gym. Mm-hmm. They've got like Olympic-sized pool. Mm-hmm. And you put the ring in the middle of the Olympic-sized pool.
Suspended above it,
Suspended above it, exactly.
It's not a bad
There
idea.
you go. I like that idea.
What else? Well, that's 2 ideas. We need one more. Risky. Random. We need more randomness.
Okay.
Get rid of feuds altogether.
Okay.
The cards for each show is determined by random draw.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the night.
Yeah. Okay.
Completely random.
Yeah. I like it. And then and including men and women, so in a bunch of intergender matches. And then randomly throughout 5 times randomly throughout the 3-hour Raw show. Well, number 1, get rid of the 3-hour limit. Sometimes
it should be a different length every week.
Sometimes Raw is 10 minutes, sometimes it's 8 hours. Okay?
Yeah.
And sometimes those 8-hour Raws, it'll be one match.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 5 times
time limit draw.
5 times, I mean the static number 5 times throughout the night, be it in a 10-minute span, so every 2 minutes, or throughout an 8-hour span, so once every hour and a half, drop like 1,000 cheeseburgers down from the rafters.
I think it should be a variety of
a whole lot of different
fast
foods. Okay, all right.
This is all good stuff.
This is all good. Write this down.
Eddie Men. Which NXT member may be in the upcoming Royal Rumble, if any? Also, who do you think can make a huge Royal Rumble debut like AJ Styles?
What NXT member might be in the upcoming Royal Rumble? I'm going to say this. I think Bobby Roode might skip the top title.
You think so?
I think he might skip the top title and go straight to
Well,
main.
then who will be the heel that Shinsuke battles after he defeats Joe at TakeOver?
I kind of want them to do something different. I kind of want them to do something different. You know, they have this pattern that's been going where it's like you fight for the title twice, you lose the title, fight for it twice, lose and make your way to main. I kind of want them to get out of that.
I agree.
That pattern.
It's very predictable.
It is. It's way too predictable.
What about Dan Matha?
Oh, easily.
Do we see anybody debuting?
Maybe Ty, more likely maybe Ty Dillinger would skip the title scene. He's not going to be getting the title, but I can see him skipping to main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any debuts at the Rumble this year?
Ty Dillinger. What's that, in January?
Yeah, late January.
He'll be done with
Bobby Roode by
then.
Undisputed champion, Marty Too Sweet.
Because Ty's old.
Yeah, he's in his mid-30s. Do you think Stephanie and Triple H will turn on Mick Foley? If you do, when and how will they do it? Who will they replace him with?
Will they turn on Mick Foley?
It seems kind of like an obvious direction to take.
I know, that's my problem.
That's why I'm hoping they don't do it.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I kind of liked it when Stephanie was, or I guess she still kind of is, caught in the middle between.
Yeah, I know. I like that better than she's playing one side or the other.
I know.
Her being a heel or face.
She's just caught in the middle of things. And he also asks, would I Too Sweet Kevin Nash?
As long as the camera's not rolling, I know you would. Totally. That's your thing.
Kevin O'Donohue. I'm sure I'm not the only one who would like to see you guest GMs on WCPW.
WCPW.
And maybe have a feud with the Adams.
Yeah.
Is this something that could happen sometime in the future?
I would say this. I don't know about guest GMs because they usually have like some top-notch guests. They have like Eric Bischoff.
I know.
But I would love to manage, like you and I co-manage like Ryback or something, because I could see like an American, doing like an American invasion type thing. They have plenty of Americans over there.
I'd have a good time just going to the show.
Yeah, you just want to go sit front row.
Yeah. 14-time future fuck wrestling champion. That's it? There's no name? Why do they constantly have pay-per-view matches prior to the pay-per-view?
I think this is like Andy Rooney. Why do they constantly have pay-per-view matches prior to the pay-per-view?
Next week, it's New Day versus Cesaro Sheamus, non-title. I think 2 pay-per-views ago, it was Rusev versus Reigns. Is there a reason for these matches to happen twice? I feel like it pulls away from the pay-per-view because you've seen the match already. P.S. Ellsworth is becoming champ tonight. The reason they're having Cesaro Sheamus against New Day next week is so Cesaro Sheamus can pick up a win over the tag champs without winning the belts.
Yeah, right.
So at Hell in a Cell they'll lose. That's why.
Some people consider 50-50 booking a problem. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, when done correctly, it's fine.
It protects people who need to be protected.
Yeah. Viv Banville. Hey guys, no surprise the hype surrounding WWE 2K17. Do you feel it's a letdown that there's no brand split, brand specific titles, or new staging included in the game? Also, Nia and Apollo are still classified as NXT superstars. If 2K were able to throw one of these out a year, it's been several months since these changes. Surely with enough time and notice from WWE themselves would have been better to have these available rather than waiting for either DLC or even next year. It takes a long time.
Surprised at how at the lead time they need
to develop these games.
Because when we did the press event, I talked to somebody for just like a quick bit, and they were like, "Yeah, no, they need to get that stuff in way in advance." And it was around SummerSlam was like right after the brand split, and so it was like at that point we were already playing that alpha build or not alpha build. That was like. Maybe
it was just like the demo they had.
It was an early build.
Yeah, the demo they had at SummerSlam.
Yeah, exactly, at SummerSlam that we got to play. And it's like even at that point, like they hadn't even debuted the Universal Championship at that point. And so no, they need a lot of lead time.
Yes. Muhammad Abdel Jabir. Do you guys think Kurt Angle would be the last huge return in this era?
I don't see any. There's nobody else, I don't think.
What about the Hardys?
Oh yeah. That's a good point. It's the Hardys.
Anybody else?
Who else is in TNA?
Or who just hasn't wrestled in a while? CM Punk.
Oh man,
If he came back.
No, never gonna happen.
No, probably not. Colt Mallet.
I love that name.
Colt Mallet tries to be a positive wrestling.
Colt Mallet
tries to be a positive wrestling fan, but Raw is making it hard for me. Don't understand creative and Vince on a night like tonight, with the casual fan turning in for Goldberg, who would have thought you would have thought they would have beefed up the card, but no.
Nope.
That being said, WWE production did an amazing job with the Goldberg videos and actually has made me interested in this show. P.S. If Samoa Joe comes to Raw, he needs to beat up the Golden Truth for his first appearance. Would be hilarious.
It'd be kind of funny. You know, it'd be funny is if Samoa Joe did that and got on the mic, like if he did that next week and he got on the mic and said, "Regal, give me Nakamura
or give me my title."
Samoa Joe, I already gave you Nakamura last week. Yeah. So what now?
There's not really a question in here.
He's just bored with Raw. Look, man, sometimes you're just not in the mood for Raw. It's funny how often my mood can simply affect, like, I'll be like, "Man, what a great Raw last night." You'd be like, "Really? It wasn't that great?" I'm like, I was just in the mood to watch it, I guess.
Yeah, that's like some nights it feels like a real obligation to watch Raw, and some nights you're actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like tonight, I'm looking forward to watching SmackDown.
Yeah. That James Ellsworth match is going to be a total squash, isn't it? That's going to be a squash.
Unless Dean is the guest referee again.
That's not going to happen.
I know.
It's going to be a total squash.
Well, Dean's going to get involved somehow. I mean, James isn't going to win.
Right.
But they'll do something.
I think, like, the fact that, like, last week they did what they did, like, means that this week it's going to be, like, a backlash type thing. Like, it's going to be, I think AJ's going to kill him and just show, okay, this is how it actually is. Matt Yerrigan.
Yeah, so how long do you think WWE keeps wasting the mid-card talent on Raw and starts doing some storylines around trades to SmackDown? Sami, the club Neville would all benefit so much more on SmackDown. Also, did you guys get the NXT edition of 2K17? If not, I need the mailing address to send you a couple things for the set.
Thank you very much. The mailing address, speaking of which.
Yeah.
Mailing address is actually in the description. It's P.O. Box 1814, Orangevale, California, 95662.
Right now with Sami involved in the Strowman storyline and the club's still kind of in the hunt for the tag titles.
Yeah, the club is going to get those tag titles
at some point.
Soon as the record's done with. Sami's with Braun. Neville, I agree with totally.
Yeah.
Neville, I really would love to see go to SmackDown.
Yeah, me too.
Nicholas Viola.
During Goldberg's entrance, one of the big things I noticed was Bob Backlund acting like a maniac. Did you notice that?
I did.
Raw needs more Backlund, but that would probably mean more Darren Young. I personally think there's some good potential in Young. Is there any way to get Darren Young on Raw, or at least Bob Backlund on Raw in some other capacity?
Yeah, just keep on doing what they were doing before,
I know.
but give them an actual feud.
I know.
You know, I mean, yes, I would love to see that too. Unfortunately, creative seems to be jam-packing the show with other stuff.
Yep. Josh Pernetta. Wondering, when do you think Sami will get a meaningful push for either the U.S. title or maybe even a Universal title feud with Kevin Owens? Also, when do you think the WWE will pull the trigger on Finn Balor reuniting with the group he created, the Club?
Okay, that second part first. That is going to happen in a very, very long... I would be surprised I would honestly be surprised if that ever happened.
3 years.
I would think that like one of those guys is going to retire before be released before that happens. I hope not. I really hope not. But I could see them splitting them up because of the brand or some crap like that.
When's the last time they actually uttered the words "the club" on?
Oh, it's been a little while. They've just been Anderson Gallows, yeah.
Flame Spitter. Last week at work, I found a coworker slacking off and watching your show. Now I got someone to share wrestling and discuss the show with. His question is, are there any matches that I should watch that's come out the past 2 months that you would recommend? AJ Cena at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Any AJ Styles match.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to think
The
anything.
Miz and
Ziggler one,
Dolph.
yeah. That was good.
2 months is a short window.
Yeah. Kyle Young. I can't help but respect all that he has done for the WWE and for how long he did it. So what are the chances of them ever inducting Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler,
Yes.
into the WWE Hall of Fame? Also, thinking about it now, I'm surprised he didn't have at least one hardcore title reign during the 24/7 rule. That's a good point.
I'm surprised about that myself.
I wouldn't be surprised in the next 5 years.
Yeah, it'd be on the closer to 5 years though, because he just got fired.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's I don't necessarily think there might be bad blood, but I don't think there's good blood between them right now. So I would think that's going to be a little while.
Yeah. Chandler 3 Productions. So a Survivor Series coming up next month. Does both Raw and SmackDown have traditional 5-on-5 matches? Will appeal to newer fans. I miss seeing the old school matches for this pay-per-view, but feel like the kids would find it boring or silly.
I don't miss those at all, to be honest with you.
I don't either, but that's why. Because remember when they did the one where it was Team Cena against Team Authority?
Oh, that was a really good one.
Because there was something on the line. Yeah, there's stakes.
And they told a really good story with that match. Yeah.
So I think if there's something at stake with these matches, then they can make them entertaining. But if they just exist to exist, it's kind of meaningless.
Yeah. Steve Allisey.
Who do you think will be put in the Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series matches? Would they actually put the champions on the Survivor Series team and not have any title matches on the show? If the rumors are true and the winning team gets to draft 3 wrestlers from the losing team, I mean, you can't have everybody eligible for that.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know how they get around that. Like, if you have an opportunity to select Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens, you're going to do it.
Exactly. I honestly don't see that happening. Drafting one to the other. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
And in which case, why would anybody ever believe Raw would win?
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Matthew Barisic. With the Cruiserweight Championship exclusive on Raw, what exclusive championship do you think should be on SmackDown?
Should be on SmackDown.
He thinks something like a Versus Championship, or any match the champion competes in, the title is on the line. Anyone who pins the champ wins the title. It could be fun for the crowd to see it potentially change hands 2 or 3 times in a single tag match. Oh, I see what he's saying.
Bring back the TV channel. I always like your idea of the network championship.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Will Fernandez. When Triple H comes back, I'm assuming at the Rumble to cost either Seth the title, or from winning the Rumble, do you think Stephanie will go full heel? Sorry. I'm not a fan of her cartoony face actions, but I'd rather just pick one and stick to it.
I don't. I want her to be a character who is torn between, like, trying to make the best for her company and being loyal to her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting story.
Yeah.
Adrian Stroop, given that Brock has already gotten stale, what do you think would happen or need to happen to actually give this match a chance to be good?
Brock to be scared. Brock to actually give a shit.
We need to think that there's a chance that Brock will lose.
Goldberg needs to be a real threat to him.
Yep. Leandro
Vereda.
Since Goldberg is back, it got me thinking about Cesaro and his metahuman strength.
I like this question.
And I'm thinking that he should use the jackhammer as his new finisher. I can see the jackhammer do great things for his character, allowing him to be more aggressive and allow him to become the threat we all know he can be in the main card.
I love there's not even a question here. Do you agree? You think Cesaro should take the jackhammer?
No.
I don't think so. I think Cesaro's fine the way he is. I think he's doing good work with Sheamus right now.
Jamie 10, hey guys, what kind of potential do you see in big guys like Big Cass, Braun Strowman? Will either of them ever be main eventers? I think definitely
that's
the plan for him.
I think definitely Big Cass. I think Braun probably has a. I may be a little bit more bearish. I don't know which one. I think Cass has a better chance of being a main eventer than Braun, even though I really love Braun and I'd love to see him go further. I think it's there's probably a better chance for Big Cass.
Yeah. Tommy Cook. The Colonel Sanders of Friendos here.
World's best chicken sandwich.
With the recent leaked exchange between Mick Foley and a fan via direct message, leads to an interesting question. Would you push Summer Rae now?
No, and I think Mick was very diplomatic in that DM. Did you read the exchange? Basically, the guy, the fan was basically saying, why aren't you guys pushing Summer Rae? And he's given examples, and Mick basically says, I just don't think she's at the level, which is a really bad idea to be interacting with fans on direct message like that. No, I would not push Summer Rae now.
No,
I would not.
Matthew Eaton. With this overwhelming nostalgic kick with Goldberg, what WCW stars would you love to see compete against the current Raw roster for one match? Matthew's pick would be Norman Smiley and Glacier against Braun Strowman.
I love it.
That's a good idea.
I can't better that idea.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Oh, perfect.
Andrew Wormley. If you could have any manager be your life coach, who would it be and why?
Well, that's a great question. Lana. Because I'd probably be there when she's posting all those Instagram pictures of her in various states of bikini wear.
No, she's supposed to be your life coach.
Yeah, man. Rusev's doing pretty good. Rusev's doing good, so it's good evidence that she's a good life coach. Plus, I get the benefit of seeing her in bikini.
I'm trying to think of non-obvious answers.
Sure.
But I'm only thinking of obvious managers.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Ellering.
That's good. Okay, I like it.
No reasoning. Just
because he's a good manager. He was literally their manager.
He
took care of their travel.
The Road Warriors manager.
That's right.
Managed their money.
Paul Ellering.
Took care of their travel.
That's good.
Damon Cruz. If rumors are true, Charlotte wanted to perform the moonsault off the cell, but Vince canned it.
No.
With that being said, what dangerous spot would you go back and advise the wrestlers not to do? His would be to tell Owen Hart to not perform the pile driver on Austin. I would tell Owen Hart not to do the Blue Blazer.
That's kind of the obvious answer, I know.
Dan Boss.
Boss.
Hey friendos, Boss here.
Boss here.
So I'm firmly with you on the whole being over Lesnar thing, but he loves Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get to see someone else with Heyman again? If so, who would you like to see as the next Paul Heyman guy?
No way, Jose.
Okay. Brigadoon.
Or Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode would be good too. Bobby Roode's such a good talker, though.
Yeah, he doesn't
really need that.
I got to talk for him. The Jericho angle is great, and I'm glad that we're finally seeing some more hints of increasing friction between Chris and his best friend, the WWE Universal Champion. What's your prediction for next week's go-home triple threat? I want to talk about this. I, for one, love to see Chris get the pin on KO after nailing him in the face with the list of Jericho while the ref's back is turned.
You're on the list.
I don't think it's going to be that.
It's not going to be that heelish, yeah.
I think it's going to be something where I'd be surprised if it's a situation where Seth is the one that puts KO in the pinning predicament. Mm-hmm. Jericho sees an opportunity to get a win and does it over KO, but I don't think it's going to be something as blunt.
I think Jericho's winning that thing next week. It's going to be a good match.
And I'm pretty sure he'll pin Owens to win it.
I could see that, dude. That'd be good.
But just because there's an opportunity to do it, not like he's actively pursuing that.
Dan Olding.
Longtime fan, first-time patron.
Thank you, friend.
Yes, thank you. My question is, what are some of your favorite moments of my compatriot, William Regal? Personally, for me, it was when he was GM and King of the Ring and would order the lights cut out during matches. On one occasion, just ordered Raw to end mid-match.
Oh, that is pretty good. I love really Regal. Good. Man, I don't know. There's so much good Regal out there.
I will always love this.
Yeah.
He flexes. He pushes
his bicep. Yeah.
Great.
I love Regal.
Glorious heated pillow. Was it a face turn for Bo Dallas or a face turn for Curtis Axel?
No, it was a heel turn. It was an increased heel turn for Bo Dallas.
More heel turn.
I love Curtis Axel.
Rory Priest. Big fan of your work and have been meaning to become a patron ever since the New York meetup. You guys were so nice in person. It was great to meet you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's only a matter of time until both Shinsuke and Joe are called up to the main roster. If only one of them could go to Raw, which one should it be, and who should be their first big rival?
I think it should be Shinsuke Nakamura going to Raw.
His first rival? Brock Lesnar.
Boy, oh boy.
Just put him right in with the feud with Brock.
Immediately, can you imagine immediately putting Shinsuke in the main event against Brock, WrestleMania? His call-up is in WrestleMania. That'd be amazing.
Jeanette Watson. Hey, friendos, and thanks, Steve, for getting my name right on the first go during your shout-out.
Nice.
My question has to do with the Roman Reigns experiment.
You're in like the 5% of people that I do that with.
Do you think he could face a monster heel to win the crowd over? The only two guys in WWE that meet the requirements at the moment are Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman. Or does WWE need to scrap the babyface push and turn him, Roman, into a monster heel? I think Rusev is a monster heel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think he is. He's one of the last pure heels.
Yeah. I mean, he's not cowardly.
He's not cowardly.
He's not afraid of a fight.
Right.
In fact, he seems to enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
He has won many matches decisively.
He doesn't seem to do things tongue-in-cheek, overly, but he really revels in his work, and that gets guys like us really on his side.
Yep. Terrence T.
I don't think, and I don't think they're gonna push Reigns as a heel. I don't think they're gonna turn Reigns heel, like, for a very long time.
Yeah. Terrence T. Which future Hall of Famers would you like to see have one final main event push? Terrence would say Mark Henry and Chris Jericho.
I cannot disagree with that. I'll be honest with you. I cannot disagree with Mark Henry.
Yeah.
I would love to see him.
Yes. Jose GGR. With Charlotte and Sasha featured on the Hell in the Cell poster is a main event inevitable.
It is.
Confirmed this morning.
Confirmed.
Jason Klein. Do you feel like they were really pushing Seth as a face at the beginning of the show, cracking jokes and smiling more?
Yeah, I hated it. I hated every second of it. So annoying. Divas the Gupta.
Do you think Paige is ruining her career by being a rebel?
I don't think being a rebel is ruining your career. I don't know. You know, the whole surgery thing is so unknown. And I think that's a big crux of it.
Yeah.
The fact that she's injured, she got suspended for, according to WWE, not painkillers, but illegal drugs. I think that her actions seem to be not doing her any favors with the WWE. Mm-hmm. And I would think that being on the biggest stage of things is best for her career, but she's also really young. So
she's also been in the wrestling industry pretty much her entire life.
Right, exactly. So I honestly don't, I mean, I can't say what's best for her career, but it definitely seems like if the WWE is where the money is to be made, given the contracts that she signed, I would think that being as somewhat confrontational with them as she has seemed to have been, as she has rumored to have been, probably isn't the best way to go. But like I said, there's so many unknowns. It's hard to really speculate.
It's also to think that you also one also has to think that I'm sure there's frustration involved because if all the rumors are true, and I think both her and Del Rio have alluded to the truth of the rumors that WWE had been trying to break them up.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
Yeah,
like that's not their place. Yeah, that's not their fucking place to do that. So if that's the case, then I mean, is she ruining her career by going with her? You know, is she choosing between her career and her love life? You know, I mean, if she's going with her love life, which she seems to be fully into, then yeah, maybe it's at the expense of her career. That's not really like a judgment of us to make, but that does seem to be the case. It's like, if that's more important to her than her career, then nobody else should be saying, hey, you know, you're screwing up your life. Exactly. But in terms of her career, choosing her boyfriend over her career does seem to be what she's doing. Yeah. So, I don't know. Jeffrey
Prince. Which do you see happening more? Xavier Woods joining the Cruiserweight division or Rich Swann in the New Day?
Yeah, man, Rich Swann in the New Day would be pretty cool. I would say that's actually, I don't see either of them happening. Rich Swann joining the New Day would be pretty cool, though.
Brando, what do you guys think is the best WCW champion? We talked about that earlier.
Ric Flair. Yeah.
Toby Whittle. Hey, friendos.
Hi.
What are your guys' go-to snack during Raw and SmackDown? It used to be potato chips, but I'm gonna be off chips for a while.
Yeah.
I was eating too many of them. Kettle potato chips. Those are my favorite.
These days, I really don't eat snacks during Raw or SmackDown. I don't really eat snacks that much, anyways. I like to eat during them. I don't really eat during SmackDown when you're here.
No.
And then during Raw, I'll have whatever I'm having for dinner usually. I'd like to say there's a go-to, but there's not really a go-to. I'll say this. The go-to when you're here during pay-per-views, usually like Totino's products. I'd be chubbing.
Were you guys surprised by the Bo Lever turning on Curtis Axel like I was? And where do you see this heading with him? Or where would you like to see it
I
go?
love that for I'd be chubbing. This is like his main feud. He's like, oh my God, this was just shocking turn of events. Like he does Raw Cap. That's his first story.
Lead story.
Yeah.
I was surprised, but
I wasn't really surprised. Bo looked like he hated him last week.
That's
and it looked
true.
like he hated him even more this week.
That's true.
Eric Basehead King Blaha.
Did you see the Wrestling with Regret interview with Broken Matt Hardy? What did you think of it? I haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
I have not yet, but I'm interested in it.
Big Razor Sexy. Hey, friendos.
Hi.
What are your top 3 ECW pay-per-views? Love the show.
It's funny, we were talking about this before the cameras were rolling, and we don't really know.
Guilty as Charged, the one where Taz beat Shane Douglas for the championship. That was the first ECW pay-per-view I watched live.
Guilty as Charged.
And then we went to
one in L.A.
the only pay-per-view they ever did on the West Coast, I believe.
Yeah, I think
we went to that, but that wasn't that great of a show.
It was not that good of a show.
That was after a lot of
people. It was highlighted by the guys from XPW
trying to
do
invade.
some lame shoot invasion thing.
But by that point, the ECW roster had been decimated.
It was like Jerry Lynn was their champion. I like Jerry Lynn, but I think he was their champion at the time.
Was he?
I think.
I don't remember.
He was there for a long time.
Yeah, he was.
Him or Rhino or Carino, something like that.
I remember those two vividly.
I honestly like there was the one night stands were actually really well done.
Yeah.
To me ECW was always like it wasn't memorable episodes or memorable pay-per-views.
It was memorable moments.
It was memorable moments. You know what I mean? So I don't know what my top 3 ECW pay-per-views would be.
Yeah. It's like I've seen a few of them. Like I saw the one where Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow had that spot where they crashed through the stage and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what pay-per-view that was on.
Yeah.
Danny Swinton. Hey, friendos. New patron and big fan.
Thank you.
I want to know, what are your top 3 pay-per-view entrances of all time? Thanks. Keep up the excellent content. A too sweet to you, Steve, and a high five to Heel Larson.
Rusev in a tank.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Let's say Rusev in a tank. Probably Triple H coming out with Motorhead.
Yeah.
Because it's Motorhead.
John Cena when he raced through the streets of Detroit
You're just saying that
and crashed through a pane of glass for some reason.
So
No, Stone Cold when he came out and the glass broke in front of him.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, that
was
really
great.
good. Yeah,
All those.
Yeah.
Alex Shez. Hi, friendos. We all know your love for the THQ Aki wrestling games from the N64, but what are some of the worst wrestling games you can remember playing?
Anything from back then that wasn't THQ and I remember WCW had a terrible one.
Right after they lost that license was awful.
And then I think after No Mercy, the first WWE game.
No, it was the WWE game that came out before they got
the license. So before was that WrestleMania 2000?
Yeah, it was. What's it called? Was it Attitude?
I think it was
WWF
Attitude.
Attitude.
Yeah.
Awful.
Oh, so bad.
Awful.
We tried too. We tried.
I know.
So
You used
bad.
to play it in the dorm all the time when you come over and whoop us, and you're like, "I'm just mashing buttons."
Look, I'm just mashing.
Like,
buttons.
no, you
I
play
like
this
said
when we're
that
not here.
Like I'm Scott Hall. I'm just mashing.
I'm
buttons.
just mashing buttons.
We're gonna open up some stuff, and we got some video questions.
Oh, you want to do that?
We're gonna do video questions first.
Yeah, let's get all the questions.
Video questions first.
First from Vincent Palmieri.
Hey guys, super simple video question this week. It's Halloween, spooky, scary stuff. A lot of people think blood is scary, and weapon matches and hardcore spots. I don't. I love hardcore weapons and wrestling matches with blood and thumbtacks and fire. So, what's your guys' favorite hardcore implement? Like a barbed wire bat, a regular baseball bat, the kendo stick, stairs, chairs, ladders, tables, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. And what hardcore spot or hardcore weapon thing have you seen that just really, really kind of skeeves you off? I'm not talking like Taipei death matches with the glass and no, that's inhuman. I don't blame you for that. But like, just your standard run-of-the-mill weapon spot that like kind of unsettles you. For me, it's going to be a chair shot to the head because, hello, I don't have Dan O'Brien in the WWE anymore because chair shots to the freaking head. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Vincent. What's your favorite hardcore weapon?
I always kind of liked Head.
Oh, Head was good. I love Head. I would honestly say my favorite hardcore weapon was the sledgehammer. Triple H's sledgehammer. He used it so much. It was great.
What hardcore spot that you've seen unsettles us?
It's easily XPW. Were there live? The
when a guy got
fire through
lit
the
on
table.
fire.
Got lit on fire. It was horrifying.
I was thinking about this the other day.
No, the sickle was my favorite hardcore weapon.
When Foley got chokeslammed through the Hell in a Cell, the spot that wasn't planned.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Man.
Yeah, that was rough. But back then, like, we didn't really care. Like, that didn't cross the line with us back then. I mean, we were like, oh my God, that's crazy. But we didn't realize that he got concussed. We didn't realize what concussions do to you back then.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like, oh my God. But
we
thank
didn't
God he's
realize
alive.
how bad it was or how bad it really could have been.
Right. But at the time, watching a man literally get on fire and understanding, oh shit, I could literally see a guy die, because I know we were both keenly aware these guys did not know what they were doing. And that guy was on fire running around, and we were both like, this guy could die. That could happen.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, it could have been really bad.
That's not good.
Jason the Cabbie.
Hola, Steve, Larson, and assorted friendos of the Grand Unified Friendiverse. It's your old pal Jason the Cabbie with this week's video question. First things first, I did want to make a quick observation that if you've got the network, make sure you watch the Bruno Sammartino interview on JBL Legends. It's fantastic, even from the historical standpoint of his early life. That being said, the question this week is, what would you rather be doing than seeing Brock Lesnar and Goldberg mix it up again? And it's kind of unavoidable at this point, but there's plenty of things I'd rather be doing, and I'm not looking forward to how long it's going to take for them to get to that. So, second question, I guess, to that would be, how long do you think it's going to take before we have to see that?
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I really do want to see that Bruno interview.
Yeah, me too.
I know. I was really hyped when I saw that it was him last night, because he talked about fighting like a gorilla or something, a monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Lesnar versus Goldberg,
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I will too.
I'm going to watch it.
The rumors are saying Survivor Series. I'm assuming that's to be the
It
case.
was anybody but Goldberg.
Because they haven't confirmed when that match is going to happen on Raw.
Yeah, it'll be Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Terrell Davis. Oh, wait.
That wasn't a video question.
Oh, that wasn't a video question.
This should be in the regular questions. Anyways, why is it more acceptable for Rollins to make that joke about the sparkle crotch versus Reigns doing the tater tots shtick with Sheamus?
We kind of answered this before. I feel like the same guy who's writing that old Roman Reigns crap is writing Seth Rollins' face crap right now. I think they need to put him on a different program, perhaps. Don't get rid of him. Let him keep his job. Don't have him writing comedy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more video question from Patrick Sparks.
Patrick.
Hey friendos, Pat here. So with the release of WWE 2K17 this past week, I got my NXT edition, and the Finn Balor statue that it comes with, pretty cool. With that being said, it's an awesome game, and there's a lot of new things this year. There's a lot of things they brought back, and I think it's an overall good game, better than last year's. So I was wondering what you think is the best thing this year, whether it be the character customization, the My Career, the My Universe, or whatever. So my second question is, if you could book any 3 or 4 man faction against each other in a tag team match, triple threat, fatal 4-way, who would you choose and why? I want to see old school Evolution, not the revamped shit that they did, versus the Wyatts, versus the Club, versus the Shield. Add some weapons in there and shit too, make it fun. Ladders, tables, I don't give a shit. Throw a Hell in a Cell in there, kitchen sink, do it all. I don't care. Alright, thanks friendos.
Thanks, Patrick. Far and away my favorite thing in 2K17 that wasn't there before. Oily skin and veins.
Yeah.
In the creative character.
Yeah, the creative character is next level.
I hate being so flip about it, because I'm sure there's like all sorts of cool stuff. Like backstage brawling, I think is really fun.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But I have not had a chance. I just started my creative character last night, or my career last night, which is going on my channel, youtube.com/MFSteve here. And then we're going to take a look at your My Career guy
on our channel very soon. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then book any 3 to 4 man factions in a feud. Who would you want to see? 3 to 4 man factions.
So just like take 2 or 3 factions, put them in a feud against each other.
Okay. Oh, okay. I want to see the New Day versus the Wyatts because we kind of got cheated out of that before.
I want to see the Triple Threat.
Oh, nice.
Take on...
Which version? Bam Bam, Shane Douglas, and Chris Candido? That's the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Take on... Evolution.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'd want to see Right
to Censor take on the Blue World Order.
Okay. Okay, you win. I like that.
Because Stevie Richards has to fight himself.
I get it. Can we open some...
Yeah,
and they take on Chronic while...
Yeah. We're going to open some packages.
We got all sorts of loot. Obviously, we don't check the P.O. box as much as we should.
All right, this first one is from Andre Zimpel.
You open that one. I'm going to open this one. This one is from...
Doesn't have a name.
Doesn't have a name. It's from... I don't even know where that is. What is that? Thailand? TA? I don't know.
No,
UK. It's from the UK.
It says UK.
It's from the UK. So whoever sent this, thank you.
Oh, man.
What? We got... Oh, shit. Look at that.
Stickers.
That's awesome.
We have Lex Luger.
Will you put that on your laptop?
I don't know. It's tempting.
You really should.
Kevin Nash.
Oh,
says
man.
too sweet.
Too sweet! You can't put that on your laptop.
DDP.
Oh, well, that should be for you.
And Goldberg. Who's next?
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's great. Thank you very much. There's a letter.
Oh, cool. Read letter.
No, you read it because I've been talking way too much.
Finish that off. Okay. Hey, friendos. Just want to apologize. The letter's all over the place. It's rather long. I've been a fan of yours for the longest time. Started watching your stuff, aside from 10 for the Win, when I came across an episode of Panic Shot of WWE 12. And ever since then, I've been a fan, sticking around and watching Bag Bosh in the studio and anything else you put out. Some of my favorite videos are you guys just relaxing and talking about anything in Podcast for the Win, as well as Friendocast. And I even enjoyed my participation in giving riddles here and there. Oh, I remember the riddle.
Oh, yeah.
I remember him. Who was this? Oh, yeah, Andre Zimpel?
Yeah.
Cool, wow. Let's see here. I knew I'd really enjoy your content when I started listening to Tree of Woe. Tree of Woe was our old podcast. We talk about wrestling and a lot of other stuff. Being a longtime wrestling fan, knowing 2 of my favorite YouTubers could sit for hours and hours talking about wrestling, I knew I'd listen to every episode when they dropped. Fast forward to you guys starting Going in Raw with Dan. I was excited to hear you talk once again about wrestling. Sadly, without Lord Shango and Brian Hilton. Hearing someone's thoughts on something they have enjoyed as long as I have, I enjoy your thoughts on backstage topics, how they should book people, etc., etc. But see you guys as people who start a wrestling podcast because of your passion for wrestling with their friends, to interviewing people like AJ Styles, Sasha, Enzo and Cass, The Miz, and Charlotte makes me happy to see how far you guys have come. With this letter, I want to give you some old wrestling memorabilia I found while looking through my storage. Anyway, thank you guys for the last throughout the years, and I will continue to watch your friendo, Andre Zimpel, a.k.a. Mr. Friendo. Steve, can I get a your spine? Yours? Well, we've been doing this a long time.
I know.
That was a 6-year-old joke.
Yep.
Your spine!
It's pretty much the first one, too.
Yeah, and congratulations with hitting another Patreon goal. I feel like there was only one event to really celebrate this milestone, a match of wits and strength. He's talking, of course, about a WCW versus NWO base hit tournament. We still have to do something for our $3,000 Patreon mark. What is this?
Don't mess with the great voice. I am Ryback.
Dear Steve Larson.
I hope the Cena one says, shoes off in the house. We'll have
I know.
Who's all just the rules?
Formal dinner every Wednesday night.
Yeah. You can't see me. That's not even Cena. The champ is here. That is not even Cena. Was that actually Ryback?
Sounded like him.
Feed me more.
That's definitely Ryback.
I'll never back down from a fight.
That's definitely Sheamus.
You want some? Come get some.
That is so not Cena.
It's someone trying to do Cena. Dear Stephen Larson, hello chaps. Chris here and his wife Kirsten, from jolly old England. We are big fans of your channel. We watch your content every week and also recently purchased both of Steve's comics.
Oh, yeah, those are in the mail. I'm sorry it took me so long to get them to you.
We saw these talking plush toys, and we thought you might appreciate them. Not sure if you ever answered this question, but we were wondering, if you could ask any wrestler, past or present, one question, what would it be and why? Keep up the awesome work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Past wrestler, one question. What would we ask and why?
Wait, what? One question?
If we could ask any wrestler, past or present,
Yeah.
one question, who would we ask, and what would the question be?
I would ask. Jeez, that's a loaded one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I got some shirts. Steve Alice sent us some shirts.
Well, make sure you're not showing his address there, man.
Oh shit!
I had to think about that. That's a tough question.
That is a tough question.
Oh man, that's a lot of shirts.
Tough. This is cool. Hold on a second. I gotta make sure. See what sizes these are, so you get yours and I get mine. Ooh, this is extra large. Oh, cool. And it must be a large. XL also, but you can have this one.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Alice's action figure frenzy.
That's dope.
Is this like a thing? Well, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, look at that little thing right here. Thank you for the T-shirt. That's rad.
That's rad. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. What question would you ask? What big wrestling query questions have there been?
I know I was trying to think of some like
controversial thing.
Yeah, or some people don't know whether it was a work or a shoot. Something like that. But I think most of that stuff has been worked out by now. Someone having a hard time coming up with something. I don't know. I don't know why it's so difficult to think up with something.
I know, right? What the heck? I would ask Macho Man something. It wouldn't be the Stephanie thing. I would ask... you know what? I want to know, like, why did Macho Man pitched Vince
the Shawn Michaels
really
thing?
Great Shawn Michaels idea?
Year-long feud.
Why is it Vince was so dead set against using Macho Man as a wrestler during those last years? I mean, I get that there was that new generation thing going,
but the whole point of Macho's thing was in the end to put Shawn over.
I know.
That's a good question.
That always bugged the crap out of me.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know. I guess that.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I know I'll come up with a better one as soon as the camera stops rolling. I'm having a hell of a time with this guy. It's just tape. I shouldn't have that hard of a problem with it. I need something to cut it.
Here, I'll do it. I have keys.
Oh, you got keys? I don't have my keys on me.
No, let's give it the box.
You're going to do it?
Make sure we don't show Justin's address.
I know, my goodness gracious. You know what boggles my mind too? Lex Luger not winning the belt over Yokozuna.
I know.
That's always weird. Here, I'll take the thing. Justin from Miami. Hey, friendos, just want to give you guys a piece of my wrestling collection from one wrestling junkie to another. I have a blast listening to you guys to and from work, and keep up the good work. You guys are awesome. Hope to see you guys at WrestleMania.
Nice.
That's right.
Don't there.
Dub the row, baby. Now we got 2 Dusty figures.
Yep.
I got to find the other one. Thank you, Justin. That's
Thank
very
you,
nice.
everybody.
That's really cool. Thank you, everybody, for all this great stuff. You guys can send us crap at P.O. Box 1814, Orangevale, California, 95662. It's down in the description, the proper address. All right, so I think it's time.
It is time. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
So, put the theme up to vote.
Yes.
On our Patreon.
Yes.
The voting is anybody who donates $10 or more per month is eligible to vote.
Correct. Yes.
The options were James Ellsworth and Bret Hart.
Yes. Those are very
decisive winner. Wasn't even close.
James Ellsworth.
James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
12 names, 6 real, 6 fake, 2 trivia questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1. Justin Uberstud.
Fake.
Real.
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
Joel Gray.
Joel Gray. Fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Jack Gallo.
Gallo.
Yeah.
Fake.
Real.
Okay.
3. Hudson Noble.
Hudson Noble. Fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
5. Dustin Juice.
Dustin Juice. Real.
Fake.
Okay.
6. R.D. Cordova.
Real.
Yeah.
That sounds so fake, but there was no way you were gonna go that obvious.
7.
Okay.
Ace Cornell.
Ace Cornell. Fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
8. Adam Ugly.
Adam. I'll say real.
Yeah.
Okay.
9. Matt Marquis.
Matt Marquis. I'll say real.
Yes.
Okay.
10. Dennis Dupree.
Fake.
Yeah. 11. Charles Betts.
Betts?
Yeah.
Spell Betts.
Betts.
I'll say real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last one. Charles Gilmore.
A fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got there? 9.
I came back because I was struggling at first. I got 9.
2 questions.
Who's this again? James Ellsworth?
Correct.
Where'd you get these names from? Bunch of local promotions he was with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then also, like he said in an interview or on his AMA that he was one of Adam Rose's Rosebuds.
Oh, okay. A lot of people were, yeah.
Yeah. So I went from there. What name does James Ellsworth use in the independent circuit?
Oh, wow. Good question. Shit.
I need the full name.
Ooh. Oh, man. Jimmy Ellsworth.
Close. Jimmy Dream.
Oh.
But I think sometimes it goes by Pretty Jimmy Dream.
Oh,
and he has a tag team with Adam Ugly, which is called Pretty Ugly.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Where does he primarily wrestle out of?
It seems to be in the Maryland area.
Oh, okay. All right. We got to get to the East Coast one day and go check out just a slew of those indie matches.
And second, how did Ellsworth come to the attention of the WWE?
This is a long shot, but I'm going to say Sasha Banks.
He sent them his resume.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. He sent them his resume. Hey, I got 9, though.
So you got
11 last week.
I got 12.
You got 12 last week?
So
Okay.
you're up 3 now.
I'm up 3 now?
Yeah.
But then that just means that you need to get 3 or better next week for the contest to be even.
Yeah, I need 3 to tie.
To tie, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So that's it.
All right, that's it for now. Oh boy, that was a long episode.
Yeah, and we still have a bonus episode to do.
And we still have a bonus episode. So you patrons, $5 and up, can check out our bonus episode. What are we going to talk about today? Speculate on who is the voice behind this John Cena doll. That's not him. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.